welcome. We are Grown A Geeks, and this is Random Geek Chat. I'm your host, Elder Geek Sam, and we are getting set up. I was on my way home, got off work a little later than I wanted to. I was like, no problem, still got plenty of time. Driving home, two lanes closed on the road while they're repaving the road. So had to deal with that, and that sucks. But that's a thing that happened to me today. Um, Interesting show tonight. Some couple things we're going to talk about. Of course, we're going to get into the Black Panther casting, the new actor that's been assigned for Black Panther. Going to talk a little bit about uh, the Ghost Rider casting. That's something that came up as well, and we'll get into a little bit of that, as well as our random topics of discussion and things we like to chit chat about, kick it, and do what we do on a nightly basis. I will have some other people joining me later, so don't worry, you don't have to listen to my talking head the entire time. But we out here, we talking. Also, Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out very soon. That's comes out this weekend. I've got some. Normally, I would have advanced screening tickets. I did not have advanced tickets for this one, so I'll just be seeing it early. I'll be going by to see it on Thursday. Movie actually releases everywhere on Friday, but of course, there will be a whole host of people going to see it on Thursday. I will be joining MCU ATL. They're having a fan event, and so tune in tomorrow to get some of that content. I'm not sure. I know I'll be live somewhere. I may even just go live on YouTube and just stream the content, stream the information there to show you what the MCU ATL fan events are all about. They're a lot of fun. I enjoy going to them. Leonard Millsap is the host for most of them, and he's got a couple of people who are there with him as sponsors. And I've had an opportunity to meet some really great people as a result. Let's Go Cosplay will be there. They've got a DJ that's supposed to show up, and they always have like photo events. There's giveaways, there's trivia questions. I mean, it's a lot of fun. And so, not to overly promote somebody else, but MCU ATL is an amazing, amazing time, and I enjoy their outings. I got a chance, since I'm waiting for some other people, we're just going to get into a few things I want to talk about. I got a chance to see the movie Obsession. I did not see it when it was in theaters. I was not overly like, oh my God, I got to check this movie out. I was like, okay, it'll be cool out. We'll see it. And that's kind of what I thought. Like, eventually I'll check it out. I'll eventually see it. It'll be what it'll be. But I have to say, not a bad movie. Not a bad movie. I do believe it's getting, I don't want to say overhyped. I don't think overhyped is the right phrase. I think what makes this movie good, or why this movie is considered to be so good, is the young man who wrote the movie and directed the movie, Curry Barker. I know him from Facebook. I know him from That's a Bad Idea skits. That's the name of their little, you can find it online. It's called That's a Bad Idea. And the one friend who made a wish for the $1 billion, he's the other guy, Cooper, I think his name is, in the movie. I'm not sure if that's his real name. It may be. And Curry did not have a visual role in the movie, but he was the voice of the customer service. So, but you go back and you watch some of their skits, and these two young men are really funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the stuff they come up with, some of the stuff they talk about, it is like so left field. They are so out there. And it's, it really trips me out sometimes to see some of the stuff that they put out. Much like when Key and Peele first started, and are they Key and Peele funny? I think they could be. I think if they maintained what they were doing and continued in that vein of comedy, because they're not afraid to push boundaries, they're not afraid to go there with their comedy, I think they could very well be on the same level one day. Now, what's interesting is they, of course, are part of this new generation. They're YouTube famous. You know what I'm saying? They're Instagram famous. They're Facebook famous, and doing their skits and having their social media presence is what got them known and allowed them to get this movie made. And I do think it's very interesting that a lot of comedy people, people who are really funny, do horror so well. And maybe it's because that comedic mind, that artistic brain sees the world differently. And because of that, you see these comedy people like Jordan Peele, again, Key and Peele, Jordan Peele, hilarious. You see their movie Keanu with the little cat, and then he comes back later. We have like Get Out and we have Nope, and he was doing Twilight Zone. So it's like he has a mind for the horror genre, and it's just being able to see an idea from a different perspective, maybe differently than someone else would see it. But yeah, Curry Barker wrote this movie, he directed this movie, and this guy went from doing YouTube skits and Facebook videos to directing a full length feature film, and that is probably where a lot of the praise is coming from, because it's a very basic movie, you know what I'm saying? And it follows all of the horror tropes. So I don't want to sit here and pretend like, anybody who watches the show, watches me, knows that I am all about trying to figure it out. I want to like rack my brain and see if I can who done it before they tell us. And if I do that, then I'm typically happy. I like being able to figure movies out. There was nothing to figure out in this movie. It was a very straightforward horror film. It does raise a lot of moral questions. It raises a lot of, was he wrong? And some of the discourse that's come as a conversation afterwards, I thought was very interesting. But, in the context of the movie, my man made a wish and the wish backfired. It was a monkey's paw, which is what most wishes end up being in movies. So, you take Wishmaster, you take Gift of the Magi, and like look at all the old stories. You know what I'm saying? Even a lot of the original stories for genies and jinns were malicious. You would wish for something and they would play on the words that you said and give you exactly what you asked for, but it's not what you meant. So, it was that kind of thing. And that's kind of how I saw this movie going. It was predictable, but it was still entertaining. It was still very good. It still had me like, ooh, what's about to happen? Edge of your seat. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. No, that's how movies are. Coming to the stage, my man, Jeffrey JPNT 17. What's going on with you, man?
What up?
And also coming to the stage, my man, RG Cashmere.
What's up?
Not sick but tired. Interesting.
Oh, brother.
Oh, brother.
I think you might agree with this reasoning, though, Jeff. I think you might agree with this reasoning of why I'm tired.
You know what? I find that hard to believe, but I will keep an open mind.
A wait and see attitude.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm about to wait and see how mad I'm finna get.
Let everybody know tonight that we are on. I think we are only on YouTube and Twitch tonight. I am not throwing this on Facebook tonight simply because it only shows up on my page, and what's the point? If I can get it in the group correctly, then that would be a thing, but it doesn't work like that anymore. So I'm like, we won't worry about that. We'll just run it on Facebook. We'll run it on Twitch. Those are the way that they, that's where we want everybody at anyway. So let's make that happen. trying to get this thing to. Okay, it want to be dumb and not. There we go. We'll do that and put that one there. Got those two.
Move it over. I had a nice little accident right before you clicked on the stream and knocked a bunch of shit over.
Always fun.
That's a sign not to be in here on that BS.
No.
So, and RG, we will also new trailer came out for The Children of Blood and Bone. So,
Watch that.
Oh yeah,
that was looking real good.
Oh, that's a sexy trailer. That's what we needed.
That is looking real good. I did think it was very interesting that the only thing that I've heard that is out of place for that is everybody's curious about the Beyonce music in the trailer.
I'm not. You know something? I'm not faded by it.
It didn't bother me. I don't think it takes away from it or anything, but that seems to be the only, not complaint, but that was the only discussion that came up about the trailer. Everything else I heard, everybody was like, people are excited. We can't wait to go see this movie. The Orishas and the story itself is actually a really good, entertaining story. The book was really good, and I've got to go and finish the series, but wait a minute. Am I? Oh, okay. So I just got notification from Teresa that Teresa is at one of her Spider-Man viewings. I'm going tomorrow. I will be joining her tomorrow. She will have already seen it. And so, of course, now I'm kind of, I wouldn't have been able to make it today anyway. So it's all good that I didn't have any pre-passes. I am looking forward to it, of course, as you see, almost a brand new day. But yeah.
Seeing shit that early, bro. I'm gonna tell you this, bro. Seeing Civil War 6 months before the shit came out was hard as fuck because you couldn't talk to nobody about nothing. It was funny because I was just listening to all the fan theories and just listening to people just, oh yeah, this is for sure, and I'm like, that shit ain't in the movie.
If you only knew. Yeah.
All right. Let's put some
now,
seeing it closer to like when everybody else is realistically gonna see it is like way better.
Yeah, and I like doing the screeners because they're usually the week of release. They're not so far in advance. If I go on a Tuesday and the movie comes out Friday, great. Avoided all spoilers. And even going tomorrow, there's a very good chance that nothing would be spoiled, because I'm going, in my head, I'm going to one of the earliest screenings, so I won't be online. But I do plan on being out and about with the people on tomorrow, so be sure to tune back in tomorrow. Check the page. We'll have I'll have the live content, grabbing people, getting fan theories, and mingling with the people as I am want to do.
Man of the people.
Yeah. These Geek on the Street interviews, man, I like doing it. I like stopping people, I like talking to people. And I like being surrounded by the fandom, wherever I am. And it's always a good experience. Like we got a chance to do it. Supergirl, stopped some people, saw some cosplay. I fully expect to see some cosplay on tomorrow. Let's go cosplay. I am sure there will be a lot of Miles Morales. And that's fine because, like you see, I'm wearing my Spider-Punk shirt.
I wonder if anybody is gonna have the courage to come in a Jean Grey outfit.
Oh Lord!
If someone's gonna have that commitment, you know what? I would not be surprised
because it hasn't technically been announced.
True.
There has been no confirmation. And so I do like that.
You sitting there looking crazy.
commit to it. You know what? I'm gonna wear my Mephisto outfit tomorrow. That's just so I can be in support with them. Now, I will say that I am pleased with Spider-Man: Brand New Day, despite all of the interest that's in this movie, all the buildup that we've had up to this point. They haven't really given away a lot.
Right.
The only thing we know is that the basic plot is Spider-Man is morphing. He's changing, he's evolving, and he's dealing with that.
He's
we don't
mutating.
know who the big bad. Yeah, like we don't know who the. Ooh, I see what you did there. We don't know who the big bad for this movie is going to be. We don't know. With him coming back to his street level, there's a lot of speculation out there about who he's going to be fighting, like who's going to be going up against. And if in fact we do have some characters introduced, how does the interplay
there's
work?
Gonna be characters introduced as stars in the movie, and we don't know who they playing. It's just right. Always gonna be weird to me that people just are so sure, because it's like, okay, if you're that sure, if you read the script or if you saw the movie, like, what's the point of ruining it for everybody? True. Just to say you knew before everybody else, like, that shit lame.
I'm treating it like spades. Yeah, you can know my cards, but you can't play them. So, right. I'm hoping that at the end of the day, regardless whether it's her or not, we still don't know what role she could be in the movie. Is she the baddie? You know what I'm saying? The big bad. We really don't know. So I'm let them do that. That's one of the things I'm tired of.
Man, we gotta let them do their thing, man.
Yeah, we gotta let them breathe. I understand if you want to. I like theorizing myself. I'm not going to sit up here and say that I'm against theorizing. That would be hypocritical. It is the just self-assuredness with it. Like you're actually literally hypothesizing on who could be in the movie, what their role could be in the movie, and then you're passing judgment.
Yeah. That's my thing. It's like, why is your natural inclination to just go to, okay, so I'm theorizing that this storyline is in the movie, and here's all the ways that they're gonna get it wrong. It's like, bro, why? You could imagine it good. Right now, all you're doing is imagining it. You can imagine it good. Now, it's some stuff, maybe in terms of like casting and things like that, it's hard to imagine it good. Like I put up a thread the other day. Everybody, I'm sure we'll talk about Black Panther at some point, but it's like, at this point, the only thing that's gonna make me question or doubt Ryan Coogler's judgment is if he cast Cynthia Erivo as Storm.
There you go.
Other than that, I'm gonna go see the movie, because he haven't really steered me wrong yet, personally, for what I like. If other people mad and other people don't like what he did, cool. But I know we not there yet in the program, so I don't want to hop ahead.
And even with that, I was talking about. It's funny you mentioned Ryan Coogler. I was talking about Obsession earlier, and Obsession just it now has the record for the highest grossing independent horror film, and that was the record just previously held by Sinners. So that's interesting. But this is the first movie that they've done, and while the movie was good, it was not just like genre bending, like, oh my God, I can't. I don't see myself immediately being like, oh, I got to go check out that new Curry Barker movie. Mm-hmm. I would be interested to see what he does next. I would be interested to see like where he takes us on the next journey, because they have he's a very unique writer, and most of what I believe they're known for is the offbeat comedy stuff. You know what I'm saying? The same way Key and
Right.
Peele were
Internet
known for
stuff.
doing Key and Peele and going there and doing the weird, outlandish comedy. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They weren't afraid to go there sometimes. That's what made them stand out. So when Jordan Peele stepped off and started doing movies, it was like very focused on horror. And that's the same thing I see with these guys because their little group is called That's a Bad Idea. And they have all these skits and stuff on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. And you know, they're funny little content creators. Like it comes across my timeline, I'm gonna watch it
Hmm.
because it's funny stuff. This felt like one that they tried to write as a comedy and it just kept getting darker and darker and darker. So they just flipped it and made it into a horror story and then decided to flesh it all the way out and make it a movie. Um, but it felt like a really long skit. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, as opposed to, it
Okay.
didn't feel like, how can I say it? Like, because I don't expect any horror movie to be cinema. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't feel like a movie. It felt like an indie film. And that's what it is.
Okay.
It felt like an indie film. And so for an indie film, I think it did well. You know what I'm saying? I
Okay.
did not have super high expectations. Um, and it was better than I thought it was going to be. It's very predictable. Everything that happens, you know it's going to happen.
Right.
But I feel that way with most horror movies I watch.
Right.
I don't watch a lot of horror movies. And when I do know who did it. I know what, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But this is one of those monkey's paw type
right. Absolutely.
thing. Okay.
Absolutely.
So
And
yeah.
it's 100% trope. There's nothing in here that should be surprising. It's just interesting to watch it play out.
Gotcha.
And I think that's what does keep it entertaining. And of course, people are like, the young lady. Now she was fantastic because she was every bit of like three different people. And anytime somebody has to play two versions of themselves,
Hmm.
if I can truly see the switch
Hmm.
or see a distinct difference, and it feels like two separate people that look the same,
Hmm.
that's impressive. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's what acting is.
There you go.
But we have so many people who act and like they're always, every role is written for them to be them,
Right.
you
And it's
know,
just them
or
feeling a different emotion. It's angry them. It's funny them. It's sarcastic them.
right, you know,
Yeah,
and
because when the studio bought the movie, they said we want them in it. So now
True.
they got to get a say on how the character is going to be and all that stuff like that. Sometimes it goes right and sometimes it goes wrong. But yeah, it's pretty jacked up that like it's so contingent upon, it's not contingent upon the story that you're trying to tell. It's contingent upon the actors that you can get to be in something, and then that's the main thing. You know what I mean? It's like, I understand there's a balance to it all in terms of star power and things like that, but there was more of a balance back in the day too, where it was like the directors would be the stars, the writers could be the stars if it was this like playwright or somebody whose thing is getting adapted.
Right. They were
And
prestigious enough.
and even up until you think about like the Nora Ephrons and people like that who were like movie writers,
Right.
but kind of not necessarily a household name, but like a name that you know off the top of your head if you watch movies.
right,
Even if not even if you like some not even if you like the video store cinephile guy, like if you just go to the movies every
you know,
Friday,
actors and
you
names,
know,
and yeah,
yeah. And so I think that balance being off balance right now is kind of one of those things where they can't really figure out how to predict what's next. everybody's the next this, the next that. Like now, this white dude is the next Jordan Peele, and it's like, hold on, like are we done? So we're done with Jordan Peele, like because
Right.
now we found the white dude who now is going to go from comedy to horror.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just feel like it's one of them things where, like you said, it's not that impressive of like an idea. It's just like you it's a monkey's paw, like you said, but this time you actually are less focused on the person who made the wish to a degree, because you see the other person who is the object, who is the person who is now obsessed. It actually takes care to show the experience of what they're going through, versus like when this story is told in the past, it would just be like, oh, he's got to get away from her. He's got to get away from her. But like now it's actually like, no, like you actually like trapped this girl in this thing. So this is all your fault. And you actually like deserve all of this, because if she can't escape, you shouldn't be able to either. But
Right.
that's also kind of a perspective where it's just like, well, yeah. And like, and then I have to even.
Have you seen it, Jeff? Because I know this is horror, so I'm like,
I haven't seen it. I've heard and read enough about it. I've read the discourse. I've heard the conversation. I'm in the mix on the conversation.
Everything you think is it. That's what happens.
Yeah. No,
so
for sure.
The fact that you're talking about it just like this,
I read like the synopsis of like the story too. Like, so it's not like I'm guessing about what happened, but I look at it though, and I'm just like, do I want a white dude telling me this story? Because I feel like the whole thing about it is so much of the, like, for me, this is a open and shut case on who is wrong, who is the victim, in my opinion.
Right.
But I feel like because this white dude is telling the story, there is this gray area that people can latch on to, when at the end of the day, if you just never made this wish and were a man and went and talked to this person, none of this would have happened.
Right.
Maybe you would have got your heart broken, but you wouldn't have had to deal with this. Like, what would you have rather had? You would have got your heart broken or this?
Right.
So is the point of the movie is what it's the main premise of the movie? Is this him taking accountability for fucking this girl up by making this wish?
Well, see,
is that an aspect of it?
That's one of the parts that a lot of people are semi-accurately interjecting into the movie, as it is one of the things that is viewed. But the main part, and it's hell, it's on home video now, so I don't, it's like, do I need to put the spoiler warning up? Just in case, because I like, is it still in the theater?
No,
I don't know.
No.
Okay, I know it's available at home release because that's how the hell I watched it. So, but I'll put the spoiler up just so.
Man, that shit on Peacock.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's how I watched it at home.
Oh, it's on Peacock?
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't even got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. All right, well, cool.
So I'm gonna just put the spoiler up just because somebody may be interested and hadn't seen it. I don't want to ruin it for them.
Mm-hmm.
Dude has a crush on this girl, and that's normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing wrong with him having a crush on the girl. He has multiple opportunities to man up and speak to her. His friend even says, like, bro, just talk to her. And of course he's like the shy, and when she comes out directly and says, do you like me?
Mm-hmm.
He bitches out right then, and he's like, I mean, like, we're friends. And she's like, okay. And she walks off. And of course, that's one of the tropes. That's one of the TV tropes, movie tropes that I hate the most. Just say the thing.
Right. So, yeah, there you go.
Just say the thing. if you just say the thing, you save us 2 hours of film. You save us all this time. Just say the thing. But of course, he doesn't say the thing. And because he doesn't say the thing, she walks off. Then, of course, he's like, why? Why would I do that? Oh my God. They're like, oh, I should have talked. And he kind of looks over and he has this little thing. It's like a willow wish thing. And he makes a wish. And in a sense, he's taking the lazy way out. Instead of approaching her, taking on a date, getting to know her, whatever, because apparently they've been friends for a while. Instead of doing the things he's supposed to do, he takes the easy route.
Is this what the movie is trying to? Is that the message that the movie is trying to push, or is that your assessment of it?
No. This is just a synopsis.
Yeah, these are like the actual things that happen.
This is just a synopsis of what happens.
And then he made a wish.
Well, no, I'm saying this. So describing it as he takes the easy way out is there's a bit of
it's the easy way for him
as the movie plays out.
But I'm saying, like, it is. I understand. No, I understand it. Like, personally, I understand what it. But what I'm trying to understand is do you get that feeling of it's an easy way out because the movie pushes it as an easy way out, or are you just saying this as a man that's an easy way out to do it?
At the time, it's not an easy way out. As you continue to watch the story unfold, you realize like that was the monkey's paw.
Understood. I got you.
Rather than him actually do the work to be her man,
right?
Whether that worked out or not,
right?
He took the easy route and simply made a wish that she would love him more than anybody else.
Gotcha.
And then as the movie progresses and you continue to watch the story unfold, you start to see how it works. And like I said, there are some gem moments in the movie that like they did, like this scene was really good. That scene was really good because it does like, it really shows you all sides of it. Because there's a period where they just have like this wonderful, fantastic relationship.
Okay.
And then you start to see the cracks at the edges, and you know what I'm saying? And it's like as it continues on, you see what the consequences of this wish are. So I would say it's worth a watch. Like I will say it's worth a watch. And I don't even feel that this really qualifies as horror. Maybe drama suspense.
Gotcha.
I think it's got a little bit of gore in it. That's probably why it has to qualify as a horror movie, but I would not say that this is a horror movie. And of course it had Brandy's recommendation and Teresa watched it. So of course, like with Brandy's recommendation, I was going to watch it. Like she ain't steered me wrong yet. So, you know what I'm saying? When she was like, you got to check this movie out. It is crazy. And it is crazy. And I think the funniest thing that I've seen with this has been some of the conversations around, because believe it or not, there are people who are like, he do nothing wrong. And it's like, if you watch the whole movie, you can actually see what he did wrong. You can see what he did wrong. But there's also the aspect, and even I can say, like, I know what it's like to be in that moment. And that's what separates men from boys. The actions and the decisions you make in those moments.
Right. Because a real man would have said, if he's going to make a wish, it's, I wish I would have done differently. I'm not going to wish her to feel a certain way about me. I'm going to wish I performed differently in the moment, as opposed to, I'm looking forward to the, I'm supposed to watch it. My wife wants to see it. She's a horror chick.
And seeing even something, now that's probably the real question. given the circumstances, after watching the movie, I would almost pose the question: what should he have wished for?
Right.
He should have wished that he wasn't such a bitch.
There you go.
I mean, I was
Wish
going to say
that.
wish for the courage to man up and or even like RG said, wish for the opportunity to relive that moment. I wish for a do-over for that moment. When she said, "Do you like me?" Wish for the do-over right there. And the crazy part is, it's like,
well, why do you need a do-over? Just go to her and be like, look, I do like you. I just ain't want to say nothing because I was nervous and I ain't want to get rejected.
Which is
So
hopefully
what's
what
up?
he does during the do-over.
I mean, and it's wonderful that you have all this emotional intelligence, but the whole point of the movie is that this kid
He
obviously didn't.
And
And
how
there's a
old is
lot
the
of
kid in the
people
movie? How old is
that's
the kid in
like
the
that.
movie?
And I think that's why this movie's resonating so well, because a lot of people need to see this shit and realize use an ass if this is how you act.
How
you
old
manipulate
are the
people.
characters in the movie?
They're young
57.
adults.
I'm just playing.
They're not. They're young adults. Early. I would say they have to be early 20s, just because one of them's trying to get into, like they talk about like going to college and things like that. One of them's getting into an art school.
Gotcha.
They too old to be acting like that.
True.
It's like, bro, you gotta. I feel like at the end of the day, there is no wish you can make that does not turn out poorly. Like, I feel like that's the whole thing about the monkey paw. Even if he wishes to go back in time, that's not gonna go right. Like, the only thing you can do is keep moving forward, and maybe you can fix it, maybe you can't. But then maybe you learn the lesson the next time a girl you actually like comes into your face and asks you a real question, you can answer it in the moment and not be a coward. And there's no wish you're gonna wish to like fix that.
But that's the issue with every single one of these monkey paw, these type of tropes with making a wish type movies. Is that
again,
the
that's
people
why I say,
never wish that they made a different, that they make a better choice in the future. Like they make a smarter choice in the future. Like they just don't accept the mistake that was made. They don't accept what was happened in the past. Even in now, I love like, Mr. Destiny type movies. I love that, if I could have made a different decision back then and what my life would be like. I love those type of movies.
You've seen Sliding Doors?
I have not. But
it's only because I did used to work at a video store, and that was one of those where like you get to see the split angle of if you catch the train and if you miss the train and how the paths go different.
I'll check that out because I really do like that genre.
I mean, if you watch 90s and early 2000 sitcoms, you've definitely seen your fair share of Sliding Doors themed episodes.
Gotcha.
What's going on, man? Oh, we got something special for you tonight, sir. We will be talking about Children of Blood.
Children of Blood and Bone.
So, but yeah, it's they never just say.
Currently, we're talking about Obsession,
right? Like here, I get to make a wish. I wish I do better in the future. Right?
Because
you get the free wish.
Because the people who get wishes in these stories are the kind of people who are digging around in old antique shops looking for a lamp to rub on. You know what I'm saying?
But
like people who are practical and would
What's
make
up, Pixelated?
wishes do not find genies because you have to make impractical choices to be in that position.
You have to be in some weird spaces.
You got to follow an old man out into the desert chasing behind a magic.
Yeah, that one wish willow.
Well, what if it?
And it's funny,
what
even the store he
what
goes
if
into.
a real G does that? Right? What if you just like?
Are you doing that? You riding out into the middle of the desert with an old Arab man in the middle of the night?
No,
exactly.
I'm just saying, depending on a certain situation, right? I'm trying to give the medium a chance to justify its actions, right? I need these situations to make sense for me. But they still don't. They still never. It's always a change in somebody else or a change in, You know,
Yeah, because they
if
don't
they
be
want
thinking
somebody
they
else,
the
they don't take
problem.
account of right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Like if
And that's
very
why
one
they be in
time,
and that's why they be in positions where they need a damn genie lamp to fix their life.
if I had one wish.
Because they've been and see he outside in the rain. Why? Because he cheated. He trying to
He
fix it
just
with
owned up to
one
his
wish.
mistake. Right.
right
Just
there you
move.
go.
Just say move forward. Don't cheat on the next girl.
Don't cheat again. There
Right.
you go. Stop doing
Now, I will
that.
say the one thing that I really did like about the movie, though, and this was perhaps the one thing that stood out that I do feel kind of made the whole monkey's paw trope different. We got to see how the wish worked. As a like, obviously, there's magic involved. You know, whatever supernatural forces caused things to happen that exist. But you know, when you look at like Aladdin and the genie, you know what I'm saying? It's like, genie, make me a prince. You know what I'm saying? This man had no royal title. He just looked the part. You know what I'm saying? And even technically, like if well, I'm not gonna do it right now because that's a Disney movie. But one day we really got to sit and break down those three wishes from Aladdin because them was not right. Them all of those were wrong because none of the stuff that happened were actual granting of wishes. He gave this whole spiel of like the stuff he couldn't do, and then didn't even do the stuff that was actually wished for. But I digress. This movie actually gave you an opportunity to see when you make a wish how it affects other people and how they end up, you know, like how the world responds to the wish that was made. And they show the absurdity of it, how everyone else looks so confused, and it definitely takes you out of the natural order of things. And we get to see that. And I feel like most times, even with the other movies that have like the, you know, the monkey paws aspect, shit just happens. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't get to see how the wish takes place. It just
Yeah, because movies with
does.
people who make wishes, the people who make wishes are not selfless people. It's like only Aladdin. He was just broke and in jail.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Other than that, he not going out there with that man. You seen all them bad girls that was in Agrabah? He had no money, no house. He had a pet monkey, could barely get a loaf of bread, and they was still on him.
That is
If he
true.
wasn't in jail, he not going. He not going out to that desert.
True. He would have made
athletic,
all
man. He was athletic.
I mean, all the girls. Wait a minute. When he landed in that one room as he was trying to escape, everybody in there knew who he was.
I'll hide you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I keep you safe.
right.
Al.
When it get cold, I'm sure we know where to find him. You know what I'm saying? So I did, but no, that was one of the parts I really did like about the movie, and I think that's the number one redeeming quality. And like I said, it's not a genre bending movie. It's not. I think honestly, it's just the fact that
after all this
they
time,
shot it from
considered how the woman felt.
I was about to say they told the story from a different perspective. It's the same story, but we got to see it from a different perspective. And I think that's what made this one really good. And like I said, Curry Barker, kudos to him. I'm curious to see what he does next. I would actually like to see him do a comedy because I think some of his comedy is batshit crazy, but it'd be funny. And
enough with the coming in on comedy and then coming out of nowhere with horror stuff. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. No more. The next person who do a sketch show and do comedy, do something scary after, I'm suing.
On his behalf?
Oh, okay. That you know what? The fact that his dad's a screenwriter, that explains a lot. It would definitely explain how he was able to come right in and be the direct, like the writer and the director. Because this kid's like what 24 and he's the director. Come on, come on. How do we get here? But
At least he's
nonetheless,
making some to get his peers to stop being lame. I'll say that much. Shout out to him. This is definitely like this is like
They all did.
Yeah.
Robin Williams
movie?
too.
What was the movie? The not the new Avengers one.
what Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolts. This was like Thunderbolts level of like incel propaganda. Where it's like, hey boys, there's no magic potion that's gonna make her like you. You gotta talk to her. You gotta
It's
talk to her
motivational.
in person.
It's motivational.
You gotta get from behind the computer. You gotta stop pining. Because when she do start liking you, you gonna realize you don't even know this girl.
Yeah.
You know the idea you have of her in your mind, and you want her to be. You think you want her to be obsessed with you.
That part.
Mm-hmm.
All right, brother. I show you obsession.
Yo, clip that. That's hilarious right there. Let me see. Let me get this over here. Clip. Okay. Mark it over there on Twitch so I have that part for later. Yeah, I enjoyed the film. I do recommend people watch it, especially like it's on Peacock. You ain't got to run out to the theaters and all that kind of stuff. But I'm very serious. I want to see him do like the comedy that I was familiar with, and I was, that's what I'm looking for him on the next project. Because they be coming up with, like I said, they dark humor is like dark.
Oh yeah.
But the shit is funny.
Oh yeah.
It is funny. We have not covered the Comic-Con announcements, but it feels like a good time to get into the Comic-Con announcements.
Yeah, we got some audience members now.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Now we got some.
Not just talking into the ether.
Their dark comedy is more like I don't even know who to. I really, you know what? I'm gonna say, hop on Facebook, look up "That's a Bad Idea." It's Curry Barker and Cooper something.
Curry and Cooper.
Those two guys. The guy Curry my man just looks interesting. It's dark comedy on the same level that like Key and Peele did with like, if you ever saw the one where because there's, oh my god, so many sketches, but I'm gonna pull one specifically that was really dark but also really funny. Man's walking into the grocery store. Well, Keegan is walking into the grocery store and Jordan Peele walks up with a clipboard. He's like, "Hey, sir, if you'd like to donate something, every dollar you donate can save a child." And he's like, "No, I don't have any."
Oh yeah.
He runs up. He's like, "No, sir. Honestly, like every dollar, like if you just $1 can save a child."
And then he gives him a dollar. He put Van Pulls up.
He hands him $1. He whistles. This blackout van pulls up, opens the door, and he hands him a $5 bill. He's like, here's $5, and he's like, whoop. Van pulls up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then when the
five.
other kid stops,
you get back in. Right, you get back in. Slams the door shut. Turns to him and says, "All right, sir. Thank you. You have a good day." And then he's like, "Wait, I have another dollar. I have another dollar."
Yeah,
it's that type of like, really, why am I laughing at this? But these are just jokes, and it's funny. So that's kind of where they reside, and so I'm very interested to see more of that, and I would like for them to come to the forefront. Now, I do know that a lot of the comedy, I saw some of the other comments you were making as far as like Jim Carrey and Robin Williams. I do know that a lot of the big comedy actors had really good turns in like the suspense and the horror like genre. The Number 23 with Jim Carrey, and hell, Robin Williams had like a
1
whole
hour,
slew of
yeah.
them.
He did 1 hour.
I don't
photo.
mind. I don't mind it for actors. I'm just
Right.
saying, and I'm not even saying don't do no horror movies at all. But Peel, you ain't even trying. You ain't even trying to pretend like.
But you know what? I also feel like
you trying to make you gaslighting. You trying to make me look crazy for expecting comedy out of you because all
Right.
you've been doing is horror for so long now, and it's like no, bro. But I feel like that way a lot of people. I think a lot of the like young women actors who are coming out now, especially the ones who came through Disney, they should be doing more comedy, but they don't write enough comedy for young women that they would actually want to
Hello,
do. That they
Captain.
gotta go be serious and be in Scream 4, 5, and 7 and all that. Like the girls on Wednesday.
Yeah.
At first, it took me a while to realize like this is like a comedy, but she's not like playing it like comedically, but she's
Right.
funny because I know her from Disney Channel. Zendaya, she to me she was very funny in all the Spider-Man movies, but she has the comedy chops. Like she comes from Disney Channel too. Like all them Disney girls be funny, but they don't have enough. They don't make enough things in the ecosystem for like the girls who are funny to be able to just keep doing that. You gotta grow up and you gotta get sexy, or you gotta be like serious and weird and indie.
Yeah. They also
They don't have no
do a lot
Kate
of
Hudson
comedy
roles. Yeah, they don't have no like Kate Hudson type stuff.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've had like just a straight girl comedy, type movie. I mean, they're scarce. Comedies are just scarce nowadays anyway. Like Hollywood's a lot of people, we had to go through a long period of everybody being overly sensitive and watching what you say and who you're going to offend. And, and that, I mean, we're technically still in that era where you can get canceled for anything.
We've always had that. We've always had the FCC. We've had way stricter.
But I mean, shit, we've had motherfuckers like Andrew Dice Clay had a fucking career. Like,
true, but here's the real problem.
We can't have that anymore.
Here's the real problem. You can do that, and you can play a character who does that. You can't do that backstage in real life no more. That's where them dudes be getting caught up.
Yeah,
true.
You can go on stage and talk about, hey, diddle diddle, I diddle myself, fiddle fiddle all day long. But when you in your dressing room or green room and you have other people in there, you can't be like, here was the inspiration I was doing, and no.
But I ain't thought about Andrew Dice Clay in a minute. Now that you got me doing the nursery rhymes,
but that's the problem, right? Most comedians, their comedy is an extension of their lives, right? Or at least they portray it that way, right? So there's always like a piece of them that's in their comedy. So it's tough for them to just. You're famous for your famous for your comedy. I think it's different when you have what you have now, where the internet has a lot of sketch writers and a lot of content creators, and that way they're known instantly as comedic actors, right? Like, are they comedians? We necessarily wouldn't say that, right? Like, no, right? We're calling Key and Peele comedians, and I guess because more Key, because I think he's the only one who may have done stand-up. Like, has either of them done stand-up? I thought it was only maybe Key.
I don't know if they've done stand-up, but I know they've always done sketch comedy. They were writers, coming from Mad TV, and it's always been primarily comedic roles.
But I don't have. But what I was saying too is I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with them as actors if they're making them choices to say, I want to try this, I want to try that. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about strictly on the writing and the directing and creating side. It's like, stretch them muscles too, but like, bruh, where's the comedy? Is it not getting greenlit? Like, did they?
That's what I'm thinking.
It just seems like a weird thing to keep happening. Not even just like, oh well, I'm gonna do comedy and then I'm gonna go into drama, or I'm gonna go into, there's other genres of movies that are just as serious that people could be going into to tell all these stories and put across these messages, and for some reason it's just horror, horror, horror. But then it's like you look at these numbers for like, oh, this is the highest grossing horror movie, and it's like that ain't that much. For real, for real. When you start thinking about Avengers and the big action blockbuster and all that kind of stuff. So it's not like you getting it. It's not like they green lighting it just for like how much money they make. So what is it? Why you want black people tell, especially black people? Why you want black people telling all these horror stories? Like we just started really messing with horror movies as a culture, like in the past, like in the '90s, for real, for real.
Right.
But when I was growing up, in the '90s, it was like you was weird if you just only watched horror movies.
Gonna agree with
Like
you.
you could beat them. You had them kids at white schools where it was like you little Rob Zombie Jr. But you weren't pulling that shit. That's off was the cab. We were like, hey, bro, do you believe in Jesus?
Right.
You need to know right now.
And well, I mean, honestly, why you playing, like,
Do you believe?
it would not have been allowed almost, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hell no.
I feel like there would have been an intervention much sooner, because grandma wasn't gonna have you can't have all that demonic stuff in my house, you know what I'm saying? It would have been a lot of that. And so it's yeah. I'm with you. I want more comedy, and I want the people who get known for comedy, I want them to do more comedy, because that's why you were known. That's what you're good at. That's why people follow and like and support. And you come up here and you pull this 180, you hit me with the horror. You know what I'm saying? Like, because of course now if you even try to pull up like their content, it's all flooded with obsession. Like that's everything that comes up now is obsession, which I get. Don't get me wrong, they got to promote their shit. But you try to go back and find any of these, because I was trying to show my wife like who these people were and explain the movie to her. And it like took forever for me to find any of the sketches that I could show her, that because it was just like announcement, and movie and news and trailer and obsession. You know what I'm saying? It's like going forever trying to get to something that people talk about. But moving on to here's a good question you did ask. Did we like what we saw out of Comic Con? Comic Con 26, San Diego Comic Con. Where a lot of the big announcements happen. And here's a quick rundown of the things that I feel like the biggest things that came out of Comic Con. MCU has Ryan Gosling as Johnny Blaze in the new Ghost Rider film that'll be directed by Sean Levy. That film is set to release in 2028, so a little ways off, but it's still like a thing that is happening. So look at that. Black Panther 3 got a release date and an announcement. David Johnston was announced as the new Black Panther, playing the son of Chadwick Boseman's son. What was the name? Something like that. And then he went from that, and of course, that's going to be T'Challa Jr.
Yeah, that's good. I think you was just far away from your microphone. The sound was.
I was
not
probably
picking
leaning
up.
back. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me make sure. Okay, let me pull it up some. But yeah, he was we got a chance to meet, T'Challa's son, and his name was Toussaint. Thank you. So yeah, his name was Toussaint, and he is T'Challa Jr., Prince of Wakanda. So he will go on to, we see that he's going to grow and become the new T'Challa. He is going to be, I guess it's going to be T'Challa Jr., or will it just be Toussaint? I don't know how to. I have to wait and let them explain to me how that's going to work. I also have to let Ryan Coogler explain to me like how old this kid is, because Toussaint was a little kid and David Johnson not a little kid. So, but I'm gonna trust the process. By the time we get to Black Panther, ain't no telling how much stuff will have changed. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Because like he won't be in. Let me not say what he will or won't do, but we've already seen Shuri in Avengers Doomsday with the Black Panther costume. This movie is obviously going to be after those events, so we don't know how much time will have passed, what the circumstances surround it, you know. So, other announcements for those who are interested. I'm gonna just do this tonight. Can we hear me now?
That's way
there
better.
You go. There you go.
Okay. I would just hold my microphone tonight because apparently it is. I got to go back and change some settings or something because it did not. Actually, when I got my new video card, popped it in, and I've had to be playing with some stuff. So there it is possible that my mic the settings are not correct. So I apologize. But oh wait, here we go. There will be a time jump in the MCU after Secret Wars. Okay. And reportedly he will make an appearance in Secret Wars. Yeah. Alrighty, audio better. Got it. Cool. Sorry, my audio was sucking earlier. Thank you for keeping me abreast, y'all. Appreciate it. For those who are interested, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, Season 3.
What?
Yeah, they dragging that shit out, man. It's Rings
of
Power.
He committed Amazon. Way too much money. He committed a lot of money.
We're done talking about Black Panther.
No, I'm going through all of the announcements. We can hit them individually.
I don't give no kind of fuck about no Lord of the Rings. I am literally just talking about here are the big announcements from San Diego Comic-Con.
He said no kind of
Yeah, I am just going through the announcements at San Diego Comic-Con. We will go back and discuss individually. So Ghost Rider, Black Panther, Lord of the Rings Season 3. We're getting a new Blade Runner TV show. I don't know how that's gonna work.
You know something? I think that would be dope.
The lesson.
I think that would be dope. I think that would be honestly, if they write it along the lines of it's the whole. Eventually, the synthetics got a power hold somehow and took over in some way, shape, or form. I think that would be dope. There is a lot of cyberpunk opportunities in the Blade Runner universe. So
Blade Runner is an old IP that needs to die. You think so?
I don't think so. I think I don't want to hold on. The universe, the whole idea of a futuristic universe where there are synthetics and there is this sort of unspoken war between humankind and synthetics, that's old. And I'm completely fine with that aspect of it. I don't need Harrison Ford to be a part of it. I don't need Ryan Gosling to be a part of it. I don't need any of the cinematic aspects of that universe to be included in the TV show. What happens in that world is incredibly broad, and there are a lot of opportunities, a lot of stories to be told. So as a sci-fi dude, I mean, I would think as a sci-fi dude, you like that type. You would want that type.
I'm a sci-fi dude. Blade Runner is a movie that white people have convinced everybody is much more important than it is because they got into synthesizers when they were in college. Okay,
that was dope, man. You should have been. You had to be there.
I put that movie on the same level as Tron. It's like it's something you got to know to just be able to participate in certain conversations because it has influenced a lot. It has impacted a lot. But as far as the movie itself,
not a great movie.
I walked away from that movie like, what?
Yeah.
Like, how bad must have all the other movies been before for this to be the one that all y'all said, Blade Runner, this is the one we're gonna.
Yeah, the last one was Soylent Green is made of people. I mean, shit, we didn't have a lot of options back then in the 80s. We weren't.
But there's better ones now, and we don't.
standards.
There's better ones now, and we don't have to pretend like These was great. Logan's Run, another one. Y'all only like that movie because y'all was being freaky and y'all thought one of them bad boys was finna pop out at any moment on the screen because of how them outfits was cut.
No, I was just
We
speaking
needed
to
fan
your
service.
point about
Everybody
the other
needs some fan
movies.
service.
The concepts of the worlds are fascinating. I'll give you that. But the execution, in my opinion, didn't warrant you having to come back and say this is a Blade Runner sequel. This is in the Blade Runner world. Like y'all haven't done enough good Blade Runner stuff for me to want to immerse myself for multiple episodes. If we being real, you skirting on the backs of it's Harrison Ford though. So y'all try to throw that one in for his just cause that one's getting elevated off the strength of Harrison Ford and the run he was having at the time where he decided to make Blade Runner. But I think with some distance, we can say, hey man, there's a lot of other stuff in there that we don't have to put this much heavy weight and heavy lifting on Blade Runner. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your inspiration. We appreciate that. But man, you don't have to watch Blade Runner. It's probably a Family Guy episode or a Bob's Burger episode that sums it up way better than actually having to watch the actual movie.
Wow, the disrespect.
Well, I'm with you on this one, Jeff. I didn't necessarily think that we needed anything. Definitely not a Blade Runner TV show. Even trying to do another movie, I'm good on it.
Yeah, I'm not going to say needed. I'm just going to say that I can accept it. I'm not going to say I asked for it, but I'm going to say that I can look forward.
They're going to make it regardless, so it comes out November 25th.
I feel like we said no to this already with the last movie. Like you got Harrison back and you put Ryan Gosling in it, and that shit didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Because everybody went back and watched the first Blade Runner in preparation, and a bunch of the casual people who were like the new Marvel fans, the new Star Wars fans, they probably went back and watched that Blade Runner and was like, I'm not going to see a extension of this. Again, another space where a reboot over a sequel probably would have been a better call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same
I
with
can
Tron.
agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And see, I think a reboot of Tron would. That's a sidebar. We got to definitely talk about that one day. Let's go through the rest of these announcements because there's only a handful more. Carrie, we're getting Carrie again because now I will say the only thing that has me interested in this one, I know.
Yeah, I'm going to take a line from Jeff. I got zero fucks.
Yeah, the only
about Carrie.
I actually read that book.
Oh wow!
The only positive I can say for this is it's Mike Flanagan and House on Hill, Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor. The guy who wrote all of those and those series, he's the one doing this Carrie. It's the only reason I think maybe it'll be something. I can't even say new or different. Hell, we just had a reboot of the movie not too long ago, so I am saying like it's a little,
What can we do different?
I'm with this.
You know what? It only, hey, Mike.
Christine, I'm
salute
there.
Mike Flanagan. Salute to you, brother.
Yeah,
get that check, dog.
What?
And that's why
hopefully this one uses guns. Maybe this one will use guns. So I'll root for that.
It'll Firestarter. Like there's a lot of other Stephen King properties that if we were going to bring them back out, because Drew Barrymore is like a much older woman now. And she was the little girl, the little kid from Firestarter. That's how long that's been. Now, was it super entertaining?
They did another Firestarter. Remember? They did one after that.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's the point. They did another Firestarter after that. It's fucking terrible. It's fucking terrible.
Also, we can just not do all this horror movie stuff.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
We got Carrie. Sissy Spacek did her thing. We saw Carrie too. We saw hey man. Nobody, we got it.
Right.
They were mean to her. They played her. They dumped the blood on her, and she got active.
There you
Now,
go.
that's now I would say of old movies, that's one you probably got to see. It's worth watching. Even
one?
as a person who don't watch scary movies, seeing Carrie is worth watching.
Oh yeah.
Because it was well made.
Yeah.
As scary as it was.
Yeah.
And that's one of
especially at
those
the
that
end.
some of those originals were fine, and everything doesn't need a reboot. And I think, like, a lot of times, it's just to be able to control and maintain the IP. I genuinely believe it's the same shit Disney does, where, you know, like, and Sony's been guilty of it. They make something just so that they can keep the shit, so that can't nobody else get it. And
right, but nobody's gonna have success with it. Right? I don't feel like it's not gonna be successful because Warner Brothers is making it. I don't think it's gonna be successful because nobody wants to see the fucking movie. Like,
true. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I get
so it's
that.
like let it go.
That.
They have to learn to let it go. Like they have to learn to let it go. Like
so,
I know you want to hold on to the
hold on.
IP,
Let me say this.
It's
not gonna get.
Well, hold on. Let me say this. The same way we have video games that get digitally remastered.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes these reboots are the equivalent of a digital remaster. Because when you try to sit down and watch something that was made in 1979 today, you're going to have the black bars on the side of your big ass TV because it was never designed for that kind of TV. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so it's like they can remake the movie. And sometimes I really just kind of want them to do the movie shot for shot again so that it looks better. The graphics are updated, that sort of thing. But every time we try to reinvent the wheel by telling this story for the modern age, sometimes these stories are only relevant because they're old as fuck, because of the time the stories were told. Right. Everything can't be adapted to today. Same time, you take something like when they did Romeo and Juliet and tried to modernize that, instead of swords, you know, they had they
and that was weird as hell. That was a very weird watch.
But that is also probably the only. I bet more people have seen that than have seen any original version of Romeo and Juliet. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was fantastic. And it's still, you know, that's something they still talk. And that's one I don't think you need to update it again for some time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it doesn't need to be modernized again, because even for the time that it came out, which feels like it was what, 96, 97, some shit like that. Mm-hmm. It's still close enough to not feel like ancient times. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't medieval times and nothing like that. So by the time they need to redo that and modernize it again, it will be in flying cars and shit, and people won't even know what a pistol was. You know what I'm saying? It'd be that type of thing.
And you can always make a movie in the spirit of, right? You don't have to necessarily reboot that specific IP. Like if you want to tell a movie about a girl with powers that gets picked on and does some revenge shit, tell a story about a girl with powers that gets picked on and does some revenge shit. She doesn't have to be Carrie.
Hey, RG,
you can write it differently.
We're gonna do an improv role play. Knock.
All right. Who's there? I'm opening the door. Here we go. Who's there?
Yeah.
All right.
Are you RG, creator of the girl with powers who got revenge?
I'm a creator of one of them.
Thank you. You've been served. These are from Stephen King's lawyers.
I got you. I hear you, man. All right. I'm all for it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Look, I just watched Nintendo attempt to sue a company for basically bootlegging the fuck out of Pokemon. Okay. I know that this can be done. We lived in a
Power
year.
World.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like we lived in a year where they literally made 2 movies about volcanoes erupted. And 2 movies about a meteorite, a meteor or something crashing into Earth and destroying the Earth. It's very fucking possible, right? Exactly.
2012 and
then it was Dante's then it was Dante's Peak and fucking
Yeah,
Volcano.
they was
Volcano.
made. They was made at the same time, which gives you plausible deniability in terms of how much you were inspired. Carrie is from like 1973,
I got you. I got
so
you.
they're gonna be like,
Yeah.
so she gets revenge at a prom, huh?
No, she doesn't get revenge at a prom.
Oh,
That's
where
right.
does she
You
get
gotta
her?
change
Where
that
does she
up.
get her
You
revenge?
gotta change it up. Make it a graduation. Make it a track meet. Make it at somebody's
Let's say
party.
it
I
needs
don't
to
know.
not be at school. Like for starters, it needs to not be at school.
Oh,
There
it's
you
gonna be
go.
You do
Carrie
something
goes
at
to
the
camp.
school.
There were options
Carrie,
here, man.
Carrie
There
European vacation.
were options. I'm not gonna get any writers credit, so I'm not helping you out. If
Carrie
you
down
want that,
under.
we'll have a therapy, and
Now-
then I will come up with more answers and more.
Caribbean
Last
Carrie.
one I want to mention before we get into the MCU stuff heavy.
Carrie
There
goes to the
is
hood.
and this one, Apple TV people, RG, new cyberpunk show called Neuromancer.
Oh yeah.
And that is that one's going to be interesting, and I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. That's got a cyberpunk world. Think Johnny Mnemonic, as far as like you have the hacker, he takes the little plug, pops it in his head, and then he can like surf the web and do all that sort of stuff. And the
Looking
short
forward
version
to
of that
it.
story, Johnny Mnemonic finds himself part of a heist that goes wrong. That's the
That was basically Cyberpunk.
Right.
Last
That's
Netflix show.
yeah.
That's the point of the video game. you
Right.
steal
That
shit
is
and it goes wrong.
precisely. That is what I got. Now for those are some of the big ones there. Now the what do we have here? DC Comics. They have now DC Comics, a lot of their announcements were okay, here we go. Since you got it. Steel, Vixen, Static, yeah. A lot. Well, the main thing, the stuff that I was announcing, a lot of that was going to be like TV, movies, that sort of stuff. A lot of the stuff that came from DC were like, they're comics. They're dropping books. They've got series going on. Vixen is finally getting her own series.
That I did hear about. I am kind of happy about that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
very happy about that.
a big deal. Steel has had a series in the past, so with Steel coming back, it's like good, but having the Demon, Vixen, Jonah Hex is making a return, which that's a weird one to me. But there's obviously some people who,
they gave them all these black ones. We gotta give something for the boys on the other side that like to wear them red hats. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say, like it's you got your Cowboys out there.
It's about heritage, not hate, Sam.
Right.
Wow.
Right, that part. Yeah, and then of course there's going to be Batman versus Absolute Batman, so that's a unique and interesting story to be told there.
Yeah, I got to dig into that whole Absolute.
Yeah, I'm gonna start from the beginning again because I still can't really get with that Absolute Superman. Absolute Batman is now that's interesting as hell, and that dude's a beast. But it's
He seemed to
also
have
like
some good stories from what I've heard online.
it also is one of those things that makes absolutely no sense. Like, not even in the way like heavy metal made, not heavy metal, but DC metal, not even in the way that didn't make sense, because at least you understood like the different universe. With this Absolute world, it's like all these Absolute characters. I have a hard time following what they are, who they are, why they are. You know what I'm saying? It's
It was like that for me with the Ultimates, like the Ultimate
Yeah.
Universe for Marvel. It was just
right, and that's essentially what the absolute universe is. It's like it's so outside of the canonical understanding of these characters that it's like they're new characters, but the same characters. The only thing that makes them the same character is the costume or the name, because
Right.
nothing else about them is that person. So it gets to be weird like that.
It's hard to reconcile the two sometimes. Just you gotta
Yeah.
compartmentalize reading those things.
One of the cool things about the static announcement, and Jeff, you may be familiar with this. Artist Nicholas Draper Ivy will be doing the comic art for Static as he makes his return. So Virgil Hawkins coming back with the Milestone revival.
He did the last. He did the last. At least the last when they brought Static back the last time. He did the art for that and the new character artist. He's a really dope artist.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, that's to me that's specifically for Static. I think that's worth mentioning because I really like his version of Static. I like the way I like his characters, the way he draws his characters. He has like a
nice look. He has like a nice balance between like anime style. He's got like really like kind of dynamic painterly coloring style as well. But even in his black and white images, there's just a lot of he uses just like a lot of just shades of gray and value and things like that I don't know. He just has created a really unique look for his art, and I think it's super dope that he gets to work on it. I follow him, and he talks about, he was talking about wanting to work on it for a while, and then he was doing sharing a lot of his journey in drawing the last run. So I think it's great to see him back. I hope the run stays around for a long time. I hope it's also in preparation for Sally Richardson Whitfield to be the head of the Milestone Cinematic Universe. Do not let James Gunn pick none of the music for none of these characters.
Agreed. I will say, yeah, these characters they need the right treatment, and we need this to do well. I mean, honestly, it's not even that we need it to do well because it should be good. We just need to stop letting all the hands get in the pot and messing with stuff, because we don't need this ain't a potluck situation. You know what I'm saying? Let the people who know how to make the mac and cheese make the mac and cheese. Simple as that. Because there's plenty of other meals out there that, Neuromancer, that's absolutely open for anybody to make.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
because for me, I'm just like, people really been pushing, trying to be like, we need to get Milestone. I'm like, hey man, don't even start talking about Milestone until one of these motherfuckers figure out DC. Unless they're gonna say Milestone gonna be its own separate thing that has nothing to do with the rest of DC, like films, they gotta figure out the DC stuff first. Because the last thing you're gonna want is what happened with Blade to happen with the Static movie, where it's gonna get moved around and pushed and moved around and pushed, all because all the other stuff is in flux. Because we making weird choices like making a Clayface movie before we make a Batman movie. So why would we want to get a Static movie just to have to wait for them to start all this over again before they even think about getting a Milestone?
And I'm with you that Milestone needs to go independent. Now, that's one of those things where I feel like I'm looking for lightning in the bottle, right? I don't want you to necessarily have to
lightning
go.
In the bottle? I already got that. Sound like Key and Peele, sorry.
But I if it's one of those things where it's like, if they can just focus on the art of making a good movie and developing the character, Like, it can be done. I feel like Hellboy is a good example of just a movie that, like, because you can, the people involved cared enough about the art of making a movie that we got a good movie, right? You know, Del Toro is, we know that this is the type of genre that he can thrive in, where there's, this fantasy and there's monsters and the ability for him to tell sort of a freaky supernatural story. I'm all for that. I feel like all those there's a few milestone characters that, that universe is deep enough that pick a character that has the opportunity for multiple stories, for multiple situations, for us to get invested in, for multiple movies. Pick a character that you can do that with. It doesn't necessarily have to be one that's the best-selling comic that you have. You just need to get together a team that knows how to write a script and knows how to develop a character.
But also, the answer is not hardware. Like, don't get cute.
There you go.
You either got to start static or you got to start icon. And starting icon is bold, but
it can be done, right? Like, it's something that can be done.
In today's climate, are they ready to see a black slave alien Superman?
I'll tell you this much: Children of Blood and Bone will help determine that situation, because
we've already narrowed down the casting because we were going to put Jonathan Majors in that.
Okay.
Hell yeah, man! Ain't nobody else got, boy. That's gonna be his redemption.
He's got the look. He's got the build. I'll even go as far as to say he has the acting chops for that kind of character. For the most part, he's going to be like extremely stoic and have that fish out of water look throughout a majority of it. You know what I'm saying? As he comes to learn the world and operate under this idea of being a hero, that'll be something new. So,
I mean, everybody wants to go with something proven, right? They're all trying to get the bag, and they feel like they can do enough predicting and, analytics to try to determine what makes a good movie, as opposed to just being fucking creative, right? Be creative. Sell the movie. Don't sell the people in the movie. Don't sell
but none
what
of
you
these
feel like they're representing in the movie, what the character represents in the movie.
None of these people are creative, though. And none of these people have the ability to have that sort of vision, which is why they have to be sold on metrics.
Well, none of them in power.
They're all analytical. That's what I'm saying. These are the only ones I'm talking about right now. Yeah, we got a bunch of motherfuckers who are creative and got ideas, but the people who can say yes and sign the check, all those are spreadsheet numbers people. So you got to bring in the spreadsheet showing this how I'm gonna make your money back.
Right.
You show them that, they cool. But you come in talking about the artistry, and it's like, this ain't no soup kitchen, man. This not charity. We make movies. Right. We make movies to make money back, and we make movies for tax write-offs.
Then we got to get some other studios, like whoever did that last Godzilla movie. Right, that Japanese Godzilla movie, the Godzilla 1 or whatever it was called, that cost them like $50 million to fucking make, and turned around and made like $300-400 million. I mean, don't break the bank. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't break the bank. You don't need to sell spectacle. Like, the mistake that they're making is they want to sell spectacle. They want the blockbuster. They want the title. They want all the accolades that come. They're putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah, they want a home run.
Right, but don't, and that's what you have to stop. Just get up there and take a swing and know that you're taking a good swing at a good pitch.
Yeah,
right?
but you
Just
talking
get him.
I mean,
about
that
Just make a
sounds
hit.
good, but
Just
if I
make
got to
a
give
hit.
you $100 million to make this movie,
Don't give him
Hey,
30 million. Give him 40 million.
Here's
right?
the way I look at it though. If I got to give you, if they say, look, if you spend $100 million, you could make $1 billion. All you got to do is put the Russo brothers up to bat. They got a track record of that, right? If we not even they did. They have it. The billion is there
Right,
still.
they did it. Right, they did it with
right.
Right.
So if you tell me, and even if it say, okay, we gave them $100 million 4 times, 3 times they brought a Billy back, and the other time they brought back $750 million. Like,
Right.
now I'm gonna look at that on one hand and say, okay, I have this opportunity to make a Billy, or which would be a home run essentially, right?
Right.
You get 1 run for it, but he smacked that motherfucker out the park, and not even that. With the Marvel ones, it's like multi-run home runs because now people going to see Ant-Man, they going to see Black Panther, they going to see all. So we had men on base, and the Russo brothers came and smacked that home run home, right? Versus you telling me, okay, yeah, this dude,
some of them definitely struck the fuck out. But
yeah, this new director, he can get me a single. Now this dude over here, he can get me a double, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then every now and then they might shock you and smack one, but we leave a lot of runners in scoring position. The studios not gonna go for that. The shareholders not gonna go for that. That's why they keep. It feels like, from my perspective, it's like, all right, y'all done put all this money into another flop, essentially. Right. But they're looking at it like, nah. As long as if it's setting up like that home run that's gonna come down the road, okay, cool. We'll take this strikeout right here, or we'll take this runner being left on. But people be trying to come in with these like, you only got to spend $20 million and this and that. It's like, man, that maybe on the movie. Then you got to talk about promo and all that other shit. Like,
right, which is still another right. So you got to double or triple the movie in order to break even. Right, that's what they say. Right, you got to triple the movie. Whatever it costs in order to break even. Okay, fine. But it's not, it can be done. Right? It can be done. And I'm tired of relying on Disney. I'm tired of relying on Warner Brothers. I get that for the most part that they control most of the super popular and, nostalgic IPs with Marvel and DC, and that's awesome. And I'll wait for them to
we don't have more,
but
like, look, Millar World, and I'm not even going to get into a whole rant or tangent on it. You know what I'm saying? But Wanted is so far from the original comic and the original story. And when we got Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix, you know what I'm saying? What was being told there, these things already exist. And they even exist in the way that they would need to exist to be just as popular. You see what I'm saying? Like, while it is and I'm not going to say a pipe dream, because there was a comment up here earlier and I just want to touch on that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you tell me that WeTV is producing XYZ milestone property, I'm going to raise my eye at it. Not going to say that it's good or bad. I'm glad it's coming out, etc. TV One, okay. Hell, at this point, I'm not shocked if I see something on Tubi. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, it's a lot of people who are making avenues for stuff to be made. I agree with all of that. But you can't just, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we try to get the milestone universe, you're literally talking about crowdfunding. First of all, every Black person that likes this geeky stuff isn't just automatically a Milestone fan. They may not be familiar with the content of Milestone to know that it's something worth supporting.
Shout out Comics Explained.
Okay, clip that.
I still rock with you, Rob. Still rock with you.
You know what I'm saying? But to move on, and there again, it still comes back to you said
Everybody
you're
can't
tired of relying
identify
on
with it,
Doesn't resonate,
right?
with people.
Doesn't resonate with everybody.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said you're tired of relying on Disney, you're tired of relying on Warner Brothers, you know, but yes, the characters that people are familiar with, the characters that people know, it's Marvel and DC. You know what I'm saying? There are some other independents out there. There are some other stories out there. You know what I'm saying? A few that have made their name here and there. You know, Invincible's doing really well. And you've got these little blips that are popping up here and there. And a lot of them are doing well, but they're doing well. They're not bankable home run derby contestants, automatic MVP. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But I'm not
And that's
necessarily
where
looking for that.
and you are great and one person.
No, but I'm one
And
amongst many. What I'm
right.
saying is, like, from the I'm not going to talk or debate business aspects of it, right? Because that makes everything that has to do with the business side of things. That's completely well known. We all understand how Disney operates. We all understand how Warner Brothers operates, and so that portion has been, discussed ad nauseum. They suck. They want the big money. Fucking uh, Infinity War made $1 billion. They want another $1 billion movie. That's everybody wants that. Everybody fucking wants that. I get that. They're not getting it, and they're fucking up, and they're swinging and missing a lot. They did the whole thing with Superman, and it was like, okay, I'm getting a little bit hopeful because they actually maybe devoted a little bit of time into the character, a little bit more. And so I was like, okay with that. But then you turn around and you do this Supergirl shit. And it's a fucking terrible ass fucking movie. And it's a big swing and a miss. It's like, what are you going to keep? When are you going to learn that when you're focusing on these aspects of things, your fucking movie fails? Like, if you want to keep doing it, right? If you want to keep going and trying to find the modern storytelling version of the movie, if you want to try to push a movie and have people talk about how the character relates to some subset of our population, awesome, you can keep fucking doing that. But if you want to sit up and you want to actually focus on character development, if you actually want to sit up and focus on writing and good storytelling and good visuals and good directing and good sound, then you will wind up having a successful movie. Iron Man was good because Iron Man focused on those things. They weren't trying to hit a home run with Iron Man. But it just so happened that you had an actor who fucking took it seriously, and you had a good story. You had a good character arc in the course of that movie. They didn't spend $500 million on Iron Man, but they certainly didn't expect it to start off this whole universe the way it did, and it to jump off like that, and him being,
I mean, sure they did. They
almost a B-list character.
They signed into like a 9-picture movie deal. So
Afterward,
like when he signed his first contract, like all the motherfuckers were signed up to multi-picture deals when they first signed with them. And it was a thing of like, maybe these appearances will happen, maybe they won't. But just in case it do go far, he needs you on board. But I feel what you're saying. I think that there is like the artistic element of it, and I think that I wish that mattered as much, but unfortunately, like, it doesn't to the people who sign the checks. So it's like, if we talking about trying to get if we talking about what's happening with Milestone, unfortunately, it's directly connected to what's happening with the DC universe. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna have to go in and explain, like, y'all couldn't get Superman and Supergirl right, but now you want to tell me you want to go over here and make a ghetto universe?
right?
You want me to? And you want how much money to make this? Oh, okay, man. That'll be sitting on the shelf right next to Batgirl.
I don't think Batgirl's on the shelf.
No, I mean,
I think
on this.
Batgirl.
I mean, on
I
the
think
shelf
I
in a
think
vault.
Batgirl went in the vertical file.
That's what I'm saying. And on a shelf in a vault somewhere never to be seen and heard or heard from again. The permanent shelf.
Okay.
Now let us.
Man, let's talk about Marvel. I'm tired. I'm
I'll-
tired of getting sucked into these DC.
Yeah, are we going to
lanes
talk
every
about
single
Children
week.
of Blood and Bone? Are we going to get
After
to the
Marvel?
meat? Oh, okay. After Marvel, I got you.
Yeah, sorry. Everybody here doesn't hate Marvel.
I don't hate Marvel.
I know, that's what I said.
No, I mean, yeah. I
So
have a strong disdain.
David Johnson has been cast, and I I saw Brandy's comments the other day. I know at one point we had conversations about the recasting of T'Challa, and I think all things considered, the way they are progressing with this story, I think it's being done as well as it could have been done. The untimely passing of Chadwick Boseman was not something that was expected. And so I don't think at any point they, thought they were going to have to go that route. And so, once you find yourself in a situation where you can't immediately come back and recast, and they did not do that. They found a lore accurate way to continue the story on. And now they are staying within the parameters of the universe they have established to explain how to continue moving forward. All things considered, I don't really have issue with that. I think it is I think it's being done as well as it could have been done. It is very interesting to hear a lot of the conversation that's taking place from people who are like, because I've had a lot of people ask me directly, like, I'm just, first of all, I got to know all of this shit. So, heaven forbid, I can't answer a question. But everyone's like, was there a T'Challa Jr. in the comics? Did he become the new Black Panther? Did Black Panther die in the comics? And like, do y'all really think that somebody went out here and like put a hit on Chadwick Boseman so that they could have a comic accurate story? Like, is that what you think is happening, bro? Like, no, the story, they had to make an adjustment because the actor unfortunately passed away. You know what I'm saying? Because Chadwick Boseman, because that happened in real life, they had to change this movie. They had to change the story they were doing. They had to change the pretend, the play stuff had to get changed because of the real stuff that took place. And so, there is, it's just interesting that the conversations that come up, and of course these are, and I don't say this in a derogatory manner, but it's the casuals, people who have probably seen 10 Marvel films in the course. You know what I'm saying? Black Panther was one of them, and they really liked that one. And so, of course, now they want to know, because now that it's been announced, so why the girl not going to be Black Panther anymore? Is that what happened in the comics? And it's just like, you just had these conversations where it's like, bruh, everything is not, half of what you see in these movies is maybe based on some version of the comics, or it's people who read the comics writing a new story.
Gotcha.
And that's the best way I can think to tell you, because it's not 100% exactly the way it was, and I don't even have the time to try to like explain all of the differences. Um, but it's, like I said, it is important, and I think it's worth mentioning that it is an in universe in MCU. It is canonically accurate the way they are casting the next Black Panther. Now, what I do tell people, and I do let them know, is that in the comics, yes, Shuri was Black Panther for a while. Shuri did not remain Black Panther indefinitely. At some point, T'Challa took back over. So, even this is not necessarily, and I would be curious, and you know, I do want to. At some point, I'm gonna get Brandy back on. Need to check on her as well. Hope everything's going well with her. Need to reach out to her. Um, but it's like because at some point T'Challa did take back over the mantle of Black Panther. I don't think having Shuri step down and having someone else step in as Black Panther is a direct attack on Shuri.
Correct.
And so I'm curious how that conversation may play out.
I don't think she wanted. I don't think she wanted the role.
She
Like,
took up the
she-
role out of duty
Yeah,
and
yeah.
out
She,
of to pay homage to her brother. But her heart is in tech and development. And so I think once you have an able bodied descendant of the line that can actually take on the mantle, I think, it ain't gonna be like in Lanterns. She not gonna make him jump out of a moving car before it drives over a cliff before she gives him the heart shaped herb.
right.
Ain't gonna be no please, sir. I'll be the Black Panther.
So
I hope
Jeff,
Lanterns is absolutely awesome.
Jeff, what are your thoughts on because I feel like I'm curious. What are your thoughts on the casting choice? Or do you have thoughts specifically in this case?
Not about him because I never seen him in anything before. I stated earlier that Ryan Coogler is a director for whom I put full trust in. I have enjoyed every Ryan Coogler project that I've watched. I know some people felt the way about Wakanda Forever, but I think for myself, I thought that it was a solid movie, but it was also an interesting exercise in watching an artist and a community of artists like honor and grieve someone on behalf of black people to a degree. I found watching that to be very uplifting in a way that made it more important than just, oh, where's the continuity in the 616? Like, I didn't care about none of that when I was watching that movie. The new casting, I said on this show before that there's nobody who they would have cast back then that people would have been satisfied with. And here, now you fractured those people into two groups. One, the people who were like, see, I told you, at least we got a British man and the African, like, all this stuff about him being the wrong identity when his job is to transform identities. I think some places, sometimes that stuff matters. Feel free to go to the Girl Named Geeks Instagram and you can see my soliloquy on David Oyelowo. But I think that for a fictional character, for a character that's not from America, whoever can do the best African accent, and I'm going to guess the child of immigrant Congolese people will probably be a skosh better than some of the people who maybe even I suggested, like a Aldous Hodge. But I also didn't think that they were going to go the younger route. I thought they were going to go like Incursion, alternate universe, same age ish, and we just have to pretend like it's the same person and everybody see the same thing. Well, we've done that in movies and soap operas before. I think that again, Ryan Coogler has my full support. So if he casts this young man, whatever he's being asked to do, I feel confident that he'll be able to do it. He's brought us new people before. He introduced us to Michael B. Jordan. He introduced us to Miles Canton. He introduced a lot of us to Jamie Lawson. He helps us remember people who we haven't thought of in a long time. And so his care when it comes to filmmaking makes me say, why would I doubt this choice, considering everything that I've experienced with this artist?
Yeah.
It's like being alive in the 70s and Stevie Wonder drops a new album. It's like, well, the last three were fucking amazing. Why am I like, I don't know about this.
Amazing.
I don't know about this new Stevie. I don't know about Inner Visions. The last three was crazy, but this, how long can he keep it up, right? Like,
they can't all be bangers, like,
right? One of these motherfuckers will have to suck one of these days. It's like, is that what you want? You want it to be bad?
Like,
Or
damn.
yeah, and I think that's a very interesting point. The success that Ryan Coogler has generated in the time he's been making movies, man has an outstanding track record. An outstanding track record. And
multiple billions of dollars just with Disney. Like,
yeah,
of course they're gonna let that man do what he want to do.
Oh, and I just realized,
Within
hold
reason.
on, is this dude the dude from The Long Walk?
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. He did an excellent job in Long Walk.
And see, the other thing too is like, there's also the people now that's just like, he didn't recast T'Challa before Wakanda Forever, and so now they're just stuck there. They're like, nah, I'm not fucking with nothing else because he should have did this way, but it's okay. Well, he can't do nothing about it. You want to give him a monkey paw? You want to take a monkey paw and wish that he had recast it again?
I wish he had cast T'Challa, and then
Put him in Pet Cemetery.
Who, T'Challa?
Yeah.
They ain't even have zombies. When they did zombies, they ain't even put Black Panther in zombies. Good for them on that. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe a what if, but no. Honestly, I think the kid is going to do well. I am, like I said, I'm more curious to see and understand the timeline when he appears as Black Panther. That's like the only thing I'm concerned with, and I don't even want to say concerned because that has like a negative connotation.
What year is this movie coming out?
I think it was like 2028. Let me see. I got a date for that one. December 15th, 2028.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
So the original Black Panther came out in 2022. How old do you think that little boy was at the end of that movie?
In Wakanda Forever?
Yeah.
He was able to talk, walk, say his name. He was able to hold
probably like 6 or 7.
I'm like, yeah, 6.
Actually, 7. He's the age. Well, you know what? Wasn't he born like after the original Black Panther film?
Yes. But then they had the blip.
Right.
So he has to be a minimum of 5 years.
Okay, so that'd be 2018 is when Black Panther came out. Add the 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about a 15-year-old.
If they did it as of, like if they took place in the current time, like
RG, we're imagining it so it works.
Oh, I gotcha.
We're imagining it so that it works.
Gotcha. Okay, hold on.
That's our new angle, man. Everybody else want to poke holes. We don't do that. We're not Swiss cheese.
We're finding the good. Okay, we making it work.
Look, wait a minute.
We're making it work.
You seen the meme? Jeff already got one made up. Just go slaps. We just go fix it up. Time jump. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, like And in most cases,
But 15
like
is a good age if he was, right? If he's a teenager coming into being the Black Panther, like having to go through those trials and tribulations without having his father as his trainer, it's his aunt. And his
Probably
aunt,
coming back to Wakanda for the first time.
Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, his mother's a
there's
look.
I know
His mother's a warrior.
Young
His
T'Challa
auntie,
in Wakanda is going crazy.
let me say, his mother's a warrior. His auntie was the former Black Panther. The king is M'Baku. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And he's heir to the throne. So when he shows up, he's got all the teachers he needs to be that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not worried about him as Black Panther. Like I said, I'm not even worried about, and that's why I said the word concern might put the wrong emphasis on it, because the timeline for the MCU movies, the 616 continuity in the movies, is already ahead of 2027. Like, they're already in the year 2028. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't really talk about that part. They just kind of keep quiet about it, because if you sit down and you actually start doing the math, shit gets weird.
Right.
Because at some point they're gonna have us at like 2035, and we just have to accept that that's the time, because all the shit that's happened in the time that's passed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And again, the answer to a lot of that was going to be multiverse, because even with the multiverse, you know what I'm saying, when they went back and they did the time heist and all that type of stuff, they were simply jumping to different points in the past, right? And of course, when they made that jump, it created new timelines, that whole bit. Loki came through, started grabbing up all the timelines. He's holy shit. It started to get real muddy. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying. I will wait patiently. I don't need to speculate. I don't need to try to connect no strings to not nothing, because they're going to explain it to me. They're going to tell me how we got here. And that's all I want to know. That's the only part of this right now that I have nothing for. So I have no choice but to wait and see how they present it. Now,
we don't know who the bad guy. We don't know the antagonist.
None of that. Like, none of that stuff
even
matters. Because keep in mind that based on when this movie's coming out, just based on the actual release date, unless they release this movie and do like a Black Widow where these events take place back here,
right?
Just based on the release of the movie, it's going to canonically take place after Doomsday. Doomsday is going to lead us to Secret Wars.
Mm-hmm.
If he has a spot in Secret Wars, and somebody had made a comment earlier saying that, you know, there's supposed to be a time jump. RG, we watch anime. We know how the time jump thing works.
Yeah, exactly. So
I got no problem with that. And like I said, we might fuck around be in 2035.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah. And we just don't stare at the clock too long. Don't worry about that. Mm-hmm. Pay attention to the story.
We've already let go of exercised a strong amount of belief in fantastical things.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's at this point it's like
I watched the lady limbo hold a giant back and then get kissed back to life by her baby. I don't really worry about how this little kid turned into this grown man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not my concern. That's why I had to correct myself. Like, I feel like the wording was too strong. It's not a problem. I'm just curious, as I don't have an answer for that. But yeah, I do think Black Panther 3, we got Toussaint coming in. He's going to be the new Black Panther. I'm going to go back. Now, somebody was saying that he, like you point out, he was in The Long Walk. I read that book. I did not want to see that movie.
I don't blame.
Yeah, that shit was a hard read, and I can only imagine.
It's a hard watch.
I believe it.
Look depressing.
Let me tell you. Well, like the Bachman books themselves are some of the most interesting Stephen King stories. When he first wrote those, of course, he did them under a pen name, a full pseudonym, so nobody even knew they were Stephen King books. And I got the book. Literally, it was a collection of short stories. That later on, I found out that it was a collection. You know, when I actually read, a collection of short stories by Stephen King. And I was like, well, who's this Richard Bachman? What the fuck? I didn't know about pen names. I was a kid. And yeah, The Long Walk was, whew, that was rough. That was one of those stories I read and probably shouldn't have been like, just because the teacher was like, oh, well, you read at such a high level. Here's the more mature books that you can read. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not supposed to be reading this. I'm a young, impressionable kid in middle school. Why did you let me read this? And because I swear when I first heard that song Pumped Up Kicks, all I could think about was I think it's called, was it Rage? There's one of the stories in the Bachman books that's basically that story. And you know, it's, I'm like, damn, Stephen King was talking about this kind of stuff way back then. And of course, years later, I thought it was interesting. Nobody ever made that connection, but I don't want to be the one to make it today. Not only was a kid in The Long Walk, but apparently David Johnson was also in Alien. Was it Alien Romulus?
Romulus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny that, like, I guess it's just because The Long Walk was the most recent movie. And so, of course, with it, you know, having done well, it's new, it's the popular story and everything. That obviously is the one that people are actually going to be talking about and using as reference. But of course, it's like Alien Romulus was a pretty unique movie, and from what I understand, he was like main person in that one, like had a major part in that story. So just seems interesting that you don't hear the Alien Romulus connection that often.
I don't know if Alien Romulus was bumping like that, but
and you know, I mean,
if you're not a fan of the Alien universe, I don't know a lot. I don't. It was very forgettable. So,
well,
I mean, they all have been Prometheus. All of them have been forgettable.
I mean, basically, the Trashers run around, and what do they find? A hatchling, and that, of course, spawns new aliens. Like, it's, you know.
Yeah. So.
It's not rocket science. It's Alien. That's what happens. People find the egg, they open the egg, and...
It's the 8th Alien. It's the 8th or 9th Alien movie. Like, all right. We get it. They're a problem.
What are your thoughts on Ghost Rider?
You know something? I like Gosling, right? So he's in good graces because of Project Hail Mary. But in general, he's a very good actor. I like the little bit of himself that he can add and bring to a role that would be interesting to see how he does Johnny Blaze on a whole, right? So I'm completely fine. You know, like I can see him, like he's believable enough that I can see him being a daredevil, right? Like I can see him being a motorcycle guy, or I can see him being a rebel type. Like, and but he's also believable in that I can see how now he's conflicted and he's in this place now where he's possibly serving the devil or something like that, you know. And what does he do now with that infant, you know, with that new power?
Mephisto.
You know, like, so we get your boy.
I mean, honestly, I think it would be very interesting if they do use that and include that angle.
Yeah, I'm not excited. I'm willing to see what they do.
Gotcha.
Because it's just they're not putting characters who have stories that excite me.
Right.
Right? Like you're just not doing it. You these guys have good stories.
Ghost
like
Rider is
he has
Ghost Rider is a
potential.
character that I know exists because of video games and the occasional cameo in something else. You know what I'm saying? But mostly it's like from the video games. If it weren't for the Nick Cage movie, I don't know shit about Ghost Rider, man. I don't read Ghost Rider. I ain't never picked up a Ghost Rider comic book.
Yeah, Ghost Rider is one of them characters that definitely benefits from iconic character design, but like
Yes.
largely the actual story has not taken like a foothold in the cultural zeitgeist. So you have like a few different versions of, or people can come in and make a tweak. Like there was a Ghost Rider on Agents of Shield. He was dope.
Right.
I actually used to hoop with him when I lived in LA, but
Okay.
I don't even remember like that story for real. Because at a certain point, it's like, okay, we'll make the head go on fire. So I feel like, to me, this is an interesting choice because everybody knows X-Men is coming, and I just feel like a star of his caliber would have been vying for one of those roles and not like some ancillary character who, like, people know the name, it sounds cool, people know what it looks like, it looks cool. But, like, I don't think anybody was like, man, when is Johnny Blaze gonna hit the MCU, bro? Like I've been waiting. Like I don't,
Right.
I've never had that thought one time. As a matter of fact, I felt like I was shocked when they, I don't want to say relegated, but relegated him to Agents of Shield because in a lot of ways they've treated him like this character with much more stature and importance than I think he has amongst today's comic book fans. I know there's probably some comic book guy somewhere who would see this and be ready to go in the garage and pull out the box of Ghost Rider and tell me why it matters and it's iconic and all that. But I don't think it didn't permeate through like X-Men or Milestone or the New 52 or Elseworlds Tales or Kingdom. It didn't permeate through any of that stuff for me where I was just like, I want to know more about Ghost Rider. It's like, your name is Johnny Blaze. I really only know that because of Wu-Tang Clan, if I'm keeping it a buck.
Thank you.
You
one of Method Man's many pseudonyms.
Yeah. So I think it's fascinating. Part of me feels like he looked at Ryan Reynolds and was like, I need me a Deadpool. I need me a guy I can like make me. And it's like he's done the Daredevil thing with behind between the two pines or whatever it's called. Beyond the Pines, I think it's called.
Right, yeah.
And I think even like the character he played in Driver kind of is amongst, I would look at those two as probably like auditioning roles for him to be able to come in and put his nuts on the table and say, I'm Ryan Gosling, I want to be Ghost Rider. Mm-hmm. I'm curious as to how it's all going to fit together. I think the Mephisto thing makes sense. Probably the Agatha All Along connection or whatever, but
yeah, that's what I was
thinking. I'm sure he's doing a movie. I can't see him doing no TV show.
Yeah.
No, it's a movie. It's a movie. The thing that stands out to me is like, so Sean Levy or Levy, he's the guy that did Deadpool and Wolverine. And so when you look at the movies that Ryan Gosling has done, he has the range to do a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this movie could be any number of kind of movies. You know what I'm saying? Are they going to do something more comedic like Deadpool, Wolverine? Are they going to do something very supernatural? Are they going to, like he did Free Guy. He's done Night at the Museum.
Wait, Free Guy? He didn't do Free Guy?
Yeah, dude, that's Deadpool.
That's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
No. Sean Levy, the director.
Oh.
Okay. I thought you were talking
Gotcha.
about.
Ryan
No,
Gosling.
no.
I can't imagine Ryan Gosling dry ass and no free guy now.
Well, no, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Sean Levy is the kind of director that's going to listen very closely to what the actor has to say. You know what I'm saying? And give them the room to do. Because if you look at the movies he's done, you know what I'm saying? It's Night at the Museum was what it was because of Ben Stiller and the ad-libbing between all the cameo people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a very formula-driven movie. That's like you know where you're taking the kids Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? You're going out, the family's going to see Night at the Museum type stuff. Like, that's the kind of director he is. I don't see him being a person that's like, you going to see that new Sean Levy film?
Right, exactly.
Whereas we might say, you're going to see that new Chris Nolan joint, and whatever that is, you know that's a cinema. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Serious filmmaking.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like Sean Levy is the kind of guy that, like, he makes the movies that are supposed to be made the way they're supposed to be made.
Gotcha. Understood.
And so Ryan Gosling, if he comes in, what if we get a little bit of Ken, a little bit of Driver, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of Fall Guy. And he's the one saying, like you said, he's the one who gets to come in, put his nuts on the table and say, this is what we're doing with Ghost Rider. This is how I want to do it. Sean Levy's gonna be like, okay, yeah, let's like, okay, it sounds great. Let's make, you know what I'm saying? And shoot that shit. I have no idea what this movie is gonna be.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. Like we really don't. But I don't have as much of an issue with the character because I feel like Jeff said, I think they're trying to go more the supernatural route. You know, the Agatha all along, the introduction of Mephisto type thing. So I think they're going that way more than cosmic. But then again, you know,
I think they're doing both.
Yeah, because that's true.
They're going to intertwine.
Now, here's an interesting side thing. They picked up this movie, and they're also doing Star Wars Starfighter. So they'll be working together on both of those.
And what the hell is that supposed to be? That just sounds like I wanted to make some cool shit, and I wanted to be Star Wars.
Honestly,
I probably would say
I would have much rather seen a pod racing, like a Days of Thunder pod racing style movie.
You know, I don't even know what I could tell you about. Let me see. Let's see. Is there a real?
Wasn't that the video game that did that whole focus on the pod racing?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a pod racing video game. Let me see. What information?
If you can make Outer Space Goonies, you can make Outer Space Days of Thunder.
That's for real. But what are they gonna get served with the papers, Jeff?
Nope.
They can pull this one off because it's out of space.
No, they can pull this one off because the person who's doing the copying got more money. See, when you copy Stephen King has the upper hand. When Disney copies good luck.
Here's the information available from StarWars.com. Star Wars Starfighter is an upcoming standalone live-action movie directed by Sean Levy that takes place 5 years after Rise of Skywalker. It follows a pilot played by Gosling protecting a young boy across an unexplored era of the galaxy free from the legacy of Skywalker saga.
Yes. God bless.
So Mandalorian.
God bless. But hopefully a little bit. Well, you know something. The Mandalorian movie.
Mandalorian, but you can see my face.
Movie. there you go. The Mandalorian movie wasn't that bad.
I still got to see it. I'm waiting for it to come on. What you call it? Disney Plus.
Is it not officially on Disney Plus?
Maybe.
That's how hard he was looking for it, you know.
I got you.
I personally feel like the whole Mandalorian and Grogu story kind of jumped the shark, and I feel like it's just like, bro, like it should have been a season 1. You got Grogu where he was supposed to be, and then we could have went on and did something else. Then you make a Mandalorian Grogu movie. It's like, oh, we getting the band back together for one last ride. But it's like we've been Mandalorian and Grogu this whole time. What's special about this?
It is pretty. I gotta give them credit.
I'm sure it is. They did something special.
They did a really good job. And as much as I was watching that movie and was expecting to be like angry, I was like, holy shit, I'm actually enjoying this damn movie. Like it wrapped up. It played like episodes. It definitely played like we watched 2 really long episodes.
Right. But it's funny because, and I think I had mentioned this, I was fearful that it was going to be a long ass episode. And even some of the cuts they did still felt like that's where the commercial would be.
It's how it's done on the channel. Yep.
And but I will say it did still feel bigger. So it still felt like a movie.
Yes.
And that was one of the redeeming things for it. It was Star Wars. It didn't have no Jedis, so coming in, I felt some kind of way. But I've never pretended. Yeah, I've never pretended it's been anything else. So even this, I'm like, Star Wars Starfight. You see, I had to look it up. I'm like, I'm not gonna see that shit. Any Jedis? Ain't no Jedis. Oh, well, hell. What are we watching? What are we doing?
I don't know. Given that some of them, Rogue One. Right, probably the most praised out of all their movies was Jedi-less.
They had a fake,
but my man had the Force because he was one with the Force, and the Force was one with him.
Yeah, we not.
They had a reverence and a respect for the Jedi, even if they weren't present.
There you go. Yeah. Well,
and I will admit, I did like Rogue One
because also wasn't no Jedi.
Yeah.
Darth Vader had killed, they had
been hunted, right? Order 66 had already happened. But
this is literally Rogue One takes place right before Episode 4. So the Jedi have been extinct for a while.
Well, they're not extinct. They're just they're
as
in
far
hiding.
As everyone knows,
they're in
ain't
hiding.
Nobody seen a Jedi. And
it was one in hiding. Who else was in hiding? Obi-Wan and who else?
Well, they were still getting. You got to think about it. So Ahsoka was alive, right? Ahsoka was alive when this happened. I will say
this
is,
canonically.
Then she put down her lightsabers.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Canonically, there were. We know in Order 66, we watched a lot of them get fucking cut the fuck down. So,
a lot of people
technically, by New Hope, the way it got phrased is they went from being the dominant power structure. Right, to all of a sudden, have you seen? Nah, these niggas ain't even come to the game. You know what I'm saying? That was his mama's funeral. He ain't even show up. You know what I'm saying? To that level of shit. So they were still out there. It's just you don't get somebody.
Hey, look, man. Y'all still holding on. Y'all still holding on to all them books y'all was reading.
No.
I was just playing.
No, I'm saying even okay, now don't get me started. But seriously, with the video games, there's characters there's Cal Kestis, and there are 2 other Jedis in that story. Force Unleashed is canon. It has 1, 2, 3. There are 4 Jedi in the first one and 2 Jedi. No, 1 additional Jedi in the second one that are still alive.
Are you counting the black chick?
From
both. You know, the girl from
no,
Mad TV.
Okay, that's not Force Unleashed. That's Force Unleashed is Star Killer. You're thinking
I'm thinking the
Jedi Survivor and whatnot.
Yeah, right. My bad.
But yes, I mean you can
Force
you can
Unleashed.
add her.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah,
you can add her with, like I said, with Cal Kestis. But she was a Jedi. Is she still a Jedi?
That's the question, right?
Because she severed her connection to the Force.
Then what the hell we gonna? Yeah, you ain't no Jedi no more.
I don't know. They magically figured out a way for her to be like,
hey,
I need to move this thing at the appropriate time.
We're gonna put your lightsaber on this side of the room, and we're gonna put you on the other side. Reach your hand out until that motherfucker come to you.
It took her 2 video games. It took her 2 video games.
Okay,
I mean,
the second video game, she was a Jedi. All the other times.
By the end of the second game, she was.
So you were civilian.
Promoted to customer and shit. Yeah, I mean, you know, there again, it's very interesting because, of course, it's like, I don't know. I want to be excited because it says Star Wars, and then I see what it is, and it's like, but then there's a lot of people who like the other parts of Star Wars and don't care for lightsabers and Jedi and Sith, and they, you know, that's not their thing. They're bored by that, and they were able to get a lot out of the Mandalorian, and they were able to get a lot out of the Book of Boba Fett and Rogue One and Andor and these other things that aren't lightsaber battles. You know what I'm saying?
Well, maybe not Boba Fett, but
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I ain't get shit from that. What I got, but you can at least sometimes motherfuckers just look cool.
But that's the crazy thing. I don't feel like anybody should have been shocked. There's no reason. We have never gotten anything from Boba Fett for people to be so excited for this character.
This dude was ruthless. Like you're known as the best bounty hunter. You're ruthless, and all of a sudden, you have to consult your team before you make every fucking decision. Like, it's like, dude, oh my God, all right. You know, this dude went to like some alien yoga retreat and was like, I learned how to fight with this stick now, and I'm a reformed man being out here stuck in the desert.
But I'm still going to take over and rule everything. You know what? Give me a Fennec
from a hut, nonetheless. From a hut.
You want to keep it interesting? Give me a Fennec spinoff. I would be more interested in that than chasing around Boba Fett, because at least she was damn interesting.
I wanted Cad Bane, who they did dirty as fuck.
Yeah.
Cad Bane deserved a better show. Would have had a better show. I mean, let's be realistic. Cad Bane is the reason. Yeah. Cad Bane is the sole reason Order 66 was successful. Right? Now, only the sole
reason, but
here is the thing. As far as the way that it went down, he's the reason why it went down that way.
Okay.
It was his heist that enabled it all to happen.
I was about to say, but technically Cad Bane already got his props in the animated series. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to try to redo that in live action, you have to tell that whole story. You can't cherry pick that into a couple of episodes and make it interesting. And even if you follow, if Cad got his own series, you already know how Disney gonna do. This motherfucker gonna be 8 episodes. They're hour long.
Somehow we gonna find out that his mama he that way because his mama, left him in the tub too long.
You know what? Have you seen what is that shit? Not Tales of the think it might be Tales of the Underworld or some shit like that. Uh, it it is on Disney Plus. It is Star Wars. It's like Tales of the Underworld. And the first couple of episodes, they have Asajj Ventress. They follow her, and she's no longer a Sith. Because of course, anybody with a lightsaber is being like all Sith are always being hunted, and all Jedi are criminals. And of course, it's like, man, I swear, every time a new show or something comes out, it'd be another Jedi Padawan who's running around. That's what I'm like. Canonically, it's a lot of these motherfuckers out there.
Yes, yes,
it's crazy.
I thought Asajj died.
No,
Is
that's
this
what I'm saying.
I thought she died in the in the show.
Like I said,
I mean, but they very well
show
could have done what
Tales,
they did with Maul. Right? We
Tales of the
certainly
Underworld.
thought Maul
And
died in the movie.
Maul, Shadow Underlord or whatever. I watched that, and
I am watching that, which is fucking incredible. Like, I'm not even mad at that. Like, that is
that's
really
that was
good.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. And seeing like that
really
young
good.
girl, she a Jedi.
Oh yeah, they're all over the place. I mean, they're still rocking out. You know, still rocking out. The midichlorians are strong.
So these people are Jedi, like full-fledged Jedi.
Most of them, yeah. Those are.
So
not just I got force powers, but I don't know how to use them.
No, these are Jedi.
No, there's
these are,
so there's
some of them.
There are two characters.
It's mixed in.
There are two characters specifically in Maul, Shadow Lord. It is a Jedi Master, and it is his Padawan. Depending on a Padawan's training or the amount of training, their level of training, you don't even get to be a Padawan unless you can handle and build a lightsaber. You have at least the basics of hand-to-hand combat, laser deflection, and some rudimentary force power that you can control. Now, how strong your connection to the Force is, that's still to be determined because, you know, like think Anakin. We grant you the title of master, but we do not put you on the council.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like everything my man was doing, he was that dude, and he just became master.
What?
Actually, no, they never even allowed him to be a master. They just sat him on the council because Palpatine had him appointed to the council because he needed an inside man. But despite everything he was capable of doing, he had not been given the rank of master. He still would have been just a Jedi Knight. So typically, Padawan, Jedi Knight, Jedi Master. As these people were just Padawans, they had not gotten their Jedi Master title. They had not gotten their Jedi Knight title in many cases. And that's where I won't say confusion, but that's where the difference comes in and why they're not full-fledged Jedis. That sort of thing.
They got space.
Yeah.
They got space for it.
We'll see. I'm just playing. I believe.
There you go.
All right. So looking forward to seeing Spider-Man Brand New Day. Jeff, is this one you gonna get out there and check out or?
I'm in there on Friday morning.
Okay. All right. Then we will. RG, what's your weekend plans, man? You getting some Spider-Man?
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's Spider-Man weekend. So yeah. All
right. I know Teresa has seen it already, and she will be seeing it again on tomorrow.
Is she in the movie?
Might as well, man. No, I will say, like all jokes aside, it has been so wonderful having Teresa around. I've been able to just meet so many amazing people who have like really shown a lot of love and helped get some things going that are just gonna continue to improve and get better and allow us to do a lot. Al, what's up, man?
I mean, that's dope, man.
Yeah, so I look forward to getting to this movie tomorrow. Like I said,
Al was good.
some man on the street stuff. And we'll be at the Brookhaven Cinema on tomorrow with the MCU ATL event. So, and let me just say it now: if you catch me wearing my shirt tomorrow, this is the shirt I'm wearing to go see Spider-Man tomorrow. I'm wearing my dope ass Spider-Man shirt made by your man right here, Jeffrey JPNT 17. Check it out. Be sure to find it on the website. You got to go now. You got to click shop because otherwise you'll just be looking at a lot of art. You got to actually click on shop, and then you can go to the merchandise, and you too can have this dope Spider Punk. There's a couple of other really, really cool items on there. And as I'm getting ready to, I convinced the wife to let me move more stuff out of the office and into the living room. So I'm going to be able to redo this room.
Okay.
I'm excited. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a whole project. And it's crazy because I'm like, damn, I ain't got no more vacation time to be taking off to do that shit because you got to take all that down. I think I'm gonna take all the pops out of the boxes. I think that's where we at. But I need to have better display.
Okay.
I need to have better display for my comics because that is still growing. And remember, I was telling you I just got the compact comics, and I'm about to buy up all of them shits because they like $10, and they're like manga size books. And the spines all kind of line up. It was like, yep. And it's crazy because there'll be a handful of those that will be duplicates. Like, for example, they have All-Star Superman. I have a trade paperback for all, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have the big graphic novel for that one. But now I have like a little bitty one to go on the shelf. And, but I got the Far Sector, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, Long Halloween is on the way, and there's like one or two more that are in my cart. I have not, I have to wait. Something cool happens at work, and boom, get my little bonus. Little bonus goes into that little Amazon account because it's like, hey, give me this website where I can order stuff. Man, I don't want none of this overpriced crap that's going to take forever. And I'll be looking. I'm like, I can get that on Amazon for half the amount of points y'all asking for.
Exactly. They'll make it seem like it's worth more.
I can take these points and I can buy these gift cards, and these gift cards can get loaded to my Amazon. So that's why it's like I just be throwing stuff in my cart, and every so often I'll move the cart, check out. Doing it like that. So that's why the shit continues to grow and expand, and I need more space. And
understood.
It's
a good problem to have.
Fortunate and blessed to do it.
Have.
It would be an even better problem if folks would do us a favor, click that QR code right above RG.
All the way over here to get this right. So there we go.
Remember, you're flipped.
Really? It's that way?
Yeah.
This is crazy, dude.
There it is. You got it. Nail it. There it is. Yep, right there.
Okay.
Yep. So click that QR code. That'll take you to everywhere you can find Grown A Geeks on all our social medias. Join our Facebook page. Hop in our Discord. We have lots of channels in our Discord server. So if you need some in-game chat rooms, or you want to get together, watch a movie, if you want to have some D&D space, our Discord server has channels for all of that. Be sure to check that out. Also, our Facebook group. Be a part of our conversations there. We hop in there. We've got one homie, Nard. Nard is like coming up with conversations every other day. I'm loving it. I got to get him more involved in some of these. He is pulling a lot of the AI stuff, though. I will say that. That's been kind of funny. But like all the images with all the matchups and whatnot, like who would win this battle, who would win this battle. But we're getting back into a lot of the conversational parts, and that's the stuff that I like. I enjoy that parts, and that's the stuff I want. We always get our news and information filtered in daily. So when something new pop, I got to check my group to see if it's posted. It usually is. So I'm like, damn. I remember a time when I was posting all the new information, dropping all the details. Now I get ready to post it. That shit was posted 3 hours ago.
Community, man. We got community.
It's so great. So we're asking you to click that QR code, be a part of that community, join us. We do our live shows every Wednesday. I want to thank everybody who was on the show tonight. We got a chance to talk about some things. I honestly thought Jeff was going to have a little bit more to say about Black Panther casting, but I think he said everything that needed to be said, and I wholeheartedly agree. I think in this particular case, the right person got cast because we have no choice but to trust the
Trust
director.
with RC.
His proven track record, if it was some unknown and we didn't know what this man was capable of, and it was just on some new shit. If it was Sean Levy directing this movie, I might question the casting. But
If it was Sean Levy directing this movie, I might question my reality.
that part too. But that would didn't be the situation of just like, again, like I said, I feel like he gives a lot of control to his actors. And so when you cast, I won't say an unknown, but I would expect somebody with a little bit more star power for Sean to be the one directing. I think he's a tried and true. He's like a pitch hitter. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just about retired as far as directors go, but you can get like 5 good innings out of him. You need a solid movie. The story's well done. Throw Sean in there. He'll nail it every time. So you get you a Ryan Gosling attached to the project. Let Sean take that one. They'll get it right. And that's kind of how I feel. But when you need somebody that can like put some shit together, make some shit happen, and get the most out of somebody, maybe you need Coogler to come in and do what Coogler do. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what we're getting out of this. And so I'm excited for the casting, and I can't wait to talk. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk with Brandy next week, and I want to present that information because I know sometimes she'll remind us she's not super into the comics. She knows a good bit, which is the funny part. So I can never tell what she does and doesn't know, but I'm curious if that will have any bearing on her overall feelings. But she had said long before that T'Challa would be recast and didn't understand why people were all up in arms about it then. So still defending her point to that. We got one more thing here. What we got? Had to disassemble my fan room back cave. Too many little pieces with the yeah. So currently, all of my little characters, they're in the living room on the entertainment center. But I've got to figure out a different way to do that. My wife's trying to buy this whole big thing with neon, and we're probably gonna like put bookcases over the windows because we don't ever open the windows in the living room. I'll keep y'all posted as I get ready to do that.
Right, we get progress photos, progress videos, shit like that.
You know what I'm saying? We'll do that. And it's funny because like she needs to post all the content she did when she redid her office because it went from like if you can see the before and the after of her office, shit is night and day. So I was like, hey, do that in here. And so I got her to see my vision for the living room. She kind of got on board with that. Then I told her we get to spend some money and, because we got to buy some new furniture and stuff. So she got real excited. And so now we're trying to figure out, I think it's going to be movies and video games in the living room. And this room will be comics and anime.
Gotcha.
The office is going to, comics, anime, Superman. Because the Superman is still going to stay in this room. But it'll be comics and anime in here. Video games and movies in there, and Star Wars is the big one in there. But it'll free up some space because I can spread the books out. I can get all the games out of here. That frees up like 2 shelves right there. It's ridiculous. But yeah, we'll keep you posted with the progress videos, and that's basically what I'm doing. I can't even call it the Fortress of Solitude because everybody be in this bitch. But. But yeah, we're going to be disassembling the fortress and rearranging and changing some stuff up. I'm thinking about like having the computer on the other side, putting the TV in the corner, all that kind of cool stuff. That way I can have better backdrops, set up my green screen, blah 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 blah. Ow! We're going to catch you next time, man. Next week, I think we're going to be next week's more than likely going to be Spider-Man review. Spider-Man Brand New Day. I actually do have I have the Mace Windu. I have the what is it? The official Star Wars FX lightsaber. I have the Mace Windu lightsaber. My brother has Vader and the Green Skywalker. And I just didn't see the purpose of dropping another $200 on a prop that's gonna sit there. So I bought me a $20 one off Amazon, and I can like swing and hit stuff with it. And they look good. They work with my cosplay. When I went to MomoCon, you know, they're part of the cosplay, and put it together. So then you have a double sided. You take it apart, and you've got two. It works out well.
I'm not mad.
Works well with the cosplay. But eventually, I will get back to Disney and build my own. But you got to like plan that shit months and months in advance. The waiting list for that is ridiculous. So if you like, you can't just, they are getting pretty high end. You can't just go to Disney and be like, oh, let's go to the Star Wars area. Oh, let me get in line to make a lightsaber. They're like, are you on the list, sir?
Wow.
If you're not on the list, there's no point of you being in line. The line is for the people who were on the list.
Wow.
And you have like a slot. So, you know, today is what, July 30th? I'm going to say, they have an opening December 12th. I'm going to Disneyland that day so I can build my custom lightsaber in the shop at Disney and have a lightsaber that I created. Yeah.
Understand?
Eventually, but I'm not going out my way to make that one happen. It'll just have to that will have to happen organically. Like when we plan a trip to Florida in advance and I know we're going, I will check for available dates then. But last time we went to Florida and I got to, and I was excited. I got to meet Ray, saw Chewbacca, got to talk with Kylo Ren, saw the whole little thing. We drank our blue milk. We walked around. I was holding, I had a
blue milk. You said that very casually too.
Yeah, I mean, because bro, like I had
shit that goes on out there.
You said like right. We were in Star Wars. Like I was in Star Wars. I can't even say I was in here I was in Star Wars. Everything, everywhere we were, it was themed up. And I've actually got those pictures. You know what? I may find it.
Where was that? That was in Disney?
Yeah, that was Disney in Florida, no less. We'd gone down to Daytona, and it's just like, a little bit of drive. So I got to nerd out at Disneyland because of, of course, they have like all the Marvel stuff, which was cool too, but Star Wars. And then the next day, because, we had like our park hopper pass and whatnot. So the next day we went over to Universal, and my sister was like, she was able to geek out on all her Harry Potter. And she got her a wand, and we got our scarf and a book and this and that, you know what I'm saying? And we got to see the dragon do the fire. So all of that was pretty cool. And I actually have some of that posted. I do have some of that posted. It's hard to find it all, but it's there. But Al, 9:30, 9:45 at the latest, man. That's when we hop in here. We're gonna call it tonight, folks. Want to thank everybody who had a chance to come hang out with us. I'm going to see if the algorithm did its thing and allows me to make these clips properly so that we have some of the highlights from tonight's show, that obsession clip. Oh, you want to see upset? I'll show you upset. Look for that. Actually, I already have that one posted. That one's already a short on YouTube. I did that while we was going because that was good. Thank everybody who was here with us tonight. We will be here next week, and we will be talking Spider-Man, brand new day. But for RG, Jeff, I'm Elder Geek Sam, and we are about to get out of here. If I can find the thing, we are out of here. Peace.